What is up, everybody? I'm Tasteless. Joined with me is Sturgeon, and we're here for the second to last day here of the RSL. How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. We are getting deep into the bracket. We got some high-level games coming up. What more could you ask for? Can't wait to get started.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle between Terran and Zerg to decide which race is going to stay in the tournament. Right now, we have Classic waiting in the winners finals.
Right.
Zoun will be facing the winner here, but it's going to be Cure versus Reynor.
I'm so excited. Reynor's one of my favorite players to watch. You cannot get any quicker than this guy. Very exciting style of Zerg. We did see him play Maru yesterday, where he brought out a lot of cheese. He brought out some of these. He did a Roach Ling Rush, and then he did a Roach Ravager Pressure, and kind of macroed behind it. So I'm curious if we're going to see any of these aggressive builds, or if it's going to be more macro focused. And Cure is on fire in this matchup. His ARAX is one of the strongest out there, so I'm curious how it's going to go today.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Reynor versus Maru is one of the best matches, honestly, of the whole tournament. I think Reynor versus Cure is really tough right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes he does look like just the best Terran in the world. Reynor kind of blew me away with how he handled Maru. Maru showed up playing a very different game, and that kind of game I don't know that Cure is going to play. I expect Cure to be more kind of the straight-up TVZ we're used to.
Yeah, he can definitely do it. He can do the ARAX, but we've actually seen him go for mech a lot recently, so I'm curious if he'll bring that out again today. That seems to be where the meta is heading for Terran right now on the current patch. But we'll have to see what he wants to go for. It's going to be exciting nonetheless. The winner moves on to play Zoun, as you say, and that will be a best of 7. The first match here will be a best of 5. And then, the winner of that goes on to meet Classic, who is in Grand, sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day here. So best of 5, then a best of 7. And, of course, Classic is waiting here in the winners finals here for whoever of these 3 is going to manage to survive.
Absolutely.
We are sponsored by Archon Studio, the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game. We're so happy these guys reached out to us, and their products are incredible. The tabletop miniatures game for StarCraft is going to be on sale, pre-sale later this year. We don't have the exact dates, but I would encourage you to just go check out their website. All their stuff's great, and I certainly will be getting a tabletop miniatures game set for myself and probably for some gifts for some of my friends. We really appreciate their support.
Indeed, and we also appreciate all the people signing up to the Patreon recently. There's been a lot of people coming in. Thank you so much. You can still sign up. There's a bunch of different tiers with various rewards. You can vote for maps. You can vote for players. You can get access to the offline event if you're a certain tier. And you can check all that out at patreon.com/ReviveSC2.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys helping fund our whole operation out here in Seoul to basically bring high-quality, well-produced StarCraft II matches with the best players in the entire world. So consider signing up. We also have RSL merchandise. You get 20% off if you go to tastelessthreads.com. That's my merch site. I've got a bunch of other stuff on there. We might eventually make a slide with some of the other shirts we have, but a great way to support RSL is to just get a mug, get a T-shirt. It was actually really cool. When I was in Riyadh for EWC, there was a period I had a little bit of time off, so I went into I always try to sneak into the audience and just watch, as an audience member, just to kind of see how it feels. When I'm not casting, obviously, and there was 2 different people with RSL shirts on.
Wow.
That I got to say hi to, and I'm like, that's crazy,
There's
man.
some smart guys out there. We have a mug in the studio. It actually looks a bit bigger than the one in the picture here, and is a white one. I was thinking when you're not looking, I might just grab that on the way out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just grab that when you're not looking, steal it, take it home. We actually do have it here.
Yeah.
Let's show it off. This is a beautiful mug, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if we can show it on. Can we get it on camera?
We'll get it on camera here. Look at this beauty.
I don't know how to get it with the light right so it hits it. That's me. The resemblance is uncanny. You can even see the GGs coming out of my mouth, just like it happens. When we're casting, do we have anything else to plug? Did we do all our plugs?
We've got the YouTube Tasteless. How can you forget the YouTube?
This is chaos here. Guys, you need to get on to our YouTube. Right now, our numbers are great. We've got a lot of people that tune in live, which has been really exciting for us. We also have a decent number of people who are watching online, but our YouTube is tiny and small. And the only way it's going to grow is if people like you subscribe to it. So even if you're watching live, please subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment or like the video. The bigger the YouTube gets, the industry term is cross-pollinate. We can have those people come back onto Twitch. We want the people on Twitch to go onto our YouTube. And we hope to really get this big. I mean, there's some massive StarCraft II YouTubes like what Loco has, which is just incredible. And the reach is massive. And we know a lot of people don't actually know about this tournament. A lot of people don't read StarCraft news sites or don't, I mean, good on them. Don't check social media too much.
Don't read Reddit.
Aren't on Reddit all day. But that means they don't have a way to get this to them. And the YouTube algorithm, it's powerful enough. It'll give us direct access to those people. And so, yeah, please do that. So we're wrapping up Season 2 by tomorrow night. We will have crowned a champion here. And then Season 3 is going to be just around the corner. We'll have the dates for that announced very soon. We're also going to have the RSL offline finals. That's going to be live here in Seoul. We're still in the process of confirming the venue. I've looked at a couple now, and we will have live audiences. So tickets will go on sale for that. If you're of a certain Patreon tier, you will automatically be given a ticket. We'll be notifying Patreon supporters first. That means if you want to come out here and watch live StarCraft 2, and by the way, there's not a lot of like live in event StarCraft 2 matches anymore.
Yeah, it's true. And there's nothing like being there in the venue, watching the players, getting to see them, watching the big screen, hearing tasteless shout and GG, you know, in front of you in English.
Yeah, it's going to be
like you don't
this
need
is going to be unusual. Yeah,
like that.
It's going to be in Korea, but we'll actually have the broadcast going out in English.
Right.
I don't know why this didn't occur to me until I went down to the venue and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we can just pipe our voices out here. I'm so used to it because normally we have it in Korean. And then everybody has to wear like little like headset transmitters to hear the English. But I thought, no, why not? I mean, you know, most of the audience is English speaking for this anyways. So, yeah, we're going to be having that. We'll be announcing the dates early enough. We'll also be announcing ticket sales, I should say, so that if you're able to get a ticket, then good. Buy your flight ticket to Seoul. Figure out where you're going to stay, and you can come see our event live. So we're super excited to be doing that for you guys. That's been the whole plan for the whole year. And so far, it's gone amazingly. It's been like a dream come true.
Yeah, it's run very smoothly. A few hiccups in the first season, but it's all been ironed out. We are plowing on here. We have our players on camera. Reynor having a little chuckle to himself. That's what I like to see. I like to see Reynor confident, because when he's confident, I feel like that's when he brings out his best play. A little bit of banter going down. You can see the maps on the screen. The one that kind of jumps out at me here is map number 3, Evil Heart. This is one of the maps voted in by the Patreon supporters, and it's led to some pretty unique games. I think we had that one game where Maru went like 1 base, 3 racks and did an all-in. It's pretty exciting. That will be the 3rd map. We are going to be jumping into map number 1 here, Tasteless. It's going to be Ultra Love, Reynor versus Cure.
All right, guys, we're going to hop into this game. Remember, it's a best of 5. Whoever wins is the only player left for the race in the tournament. It's a very unusual situation. So if Cure moves on, Zerg's out. Yep. If Reynor moves on, Terran's out. So if you're a fan of the race, like this is how I usually watch StarCraft, because I'm, you know, like a student of Protoss, right? I was always like, especially when I was younger, like, okay, well, I really just want to see the Protosses move on. I want to see what they're going to do.
Right.
And a lot of times I'm just farming strategies from them. But yeah, if you're a student of the game, if you're, let me say, a student of Terran or Zerg, you know who to root for here, because after this, there's only 2 more Protoss players left.
Yeah, they're kind of carrying the torch for their race here, trying to stay alive. It's all on the line right now. Obviously, every game you win, you get a bit more money as well, which is always nice. We do have a standard hatch first going to be going down here after the extractor trick for Reynor. Cure, on the other hand, is opening 2 racks, so we're going to see some Reaper pressure. If we don't see a 3rd racks, it's just going to be pressure, Macro in behind it, trying to get the engine going here for Terran. And well, dude, Reynor looks tired, having a big yawn on the camera there. He's gonna have to wake up because these Reapers are coming.
Yeah, it's interesting that Reynor does the hoodie over the head and then the headphones. I've never been able to do that.
It's giving like dark Sith vibes.
Yeah, he's
you know
kind of got an Assassin's Creed gamer look going on there. I've always liked the tiny earbuds in my ears personally. By the way, before this game picks up, it was announced that there's going to be a patch for StarCraft II.
Indeed.
I was totally caught off guard by that when I saw the news. That's amazing.
Yeah, huge news. Really awesome to see Blizzard doing something here. Sorry, I actually called this wrong. There wasn't a gas behind this. So it is going to be a Reaper open in here, a Marine open in here. 2 at a time being pumped out. A little bit different to what we usually see. The Overlord will pop in here. You don't know if Terran has a gas right now, so you may expect Reapers, but once you see the Marines, of course, you will know, and you just got to try and save this Overlord if you can get to the high ground. But I think this one looks like it may be going down here. That's a very nice pick-off. Obviously, you get the minerals, you supply block the Zerg, but most importantly, you shut down the vision as well, so they don't see what's coming on the back of this. And there's actually no CC yet. This is almost like a proxy, but in his base. He's going to drop the CC now.
So weird.
Yeah. Send like a little group of Marines across the map with an SCV. Try to force the Zerg to make a bunch of lings that he doesn't want to make, and macro behind it.
You know, it's funny, because I actually was thinking the exact same thing that you were, Sturgeon. When I saw the 2 Raxes in the front, I went, oh, it's a Reaper opening. Dude, wait, can he just make a bunker?
He doesn't see it. This is insane.
Okay, I think the idea is you need to sync this up so that it finishes the same time as the hatch, but maybe I'm wrong. Is that...
He's going to try and get it down as soon as possible and just wail away this hatch. Try to make Zerg make a bunch of lings to kill that bunker. Otherwise, it's a kind of thorn in your side here. He doesn't have vision of it, of course, right now. No Overlord around there.
Okay, so here's a question. Do you want to just fill this up immediately?
The bunker?
The bunker, or do you wait for it to finish? I guess you're not guaranteed to kill the hatchery. I'm just trying to figure out what's the best way to do this.
Yeah, I think you want to wait till it finishes and then show the Marines. I even like the SCV attacking here, a little bit more DPS on the hatchery. He's going to try and kill this before it, finishes. There's 12 lings on the way, but they're pretty far away right now.
Yeah, he's going to send lings up here, and then with the bunker, there's like no way. This is actually so funny because it's like,
wow.
I mean, I'd be super mad if I was Reynor right now. It's kind of like, it's like a move that almost doesn't make sense to do because it's not safe, but if they don't see it, it's like, yeah, well, then it works.
Right, if you kill the Overlord,
yeah,
and then you don't know it's coming, and you don't have the lings. These Marines, though, will be caught trying to go home by the Zerglings. Reynor has just enough to clear this up. Going to have a few weakened ones, but not lose much here. And he will expand to his 4th base location and kind of macro up from here. On the back of this, we do have Stim and Combat Shield. 5 Marines coming out at a time. I think Kyo's going to be aggressive in this game.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is already just a really strong game here from Cure. I mean, the best thing you can ever do to Zerg early on is to stop the 3rd hatchery.
Right.
Which is almost impossible to even do. Normally, we talk about the 4th hatch being the most important moment because basically everybody's got everything so streamlined as far as builds go. The 3rd hatchery is never denied, but this is one of those rare moments in a really important part of the tournament where Reynor is off to an incredibly bad start.
Yeah, this was such a sick build from Kier, actually. Just having the 2 Rex at the front, picking off the Overlord, getting a sneaky bunker up at the 3rd. It's kind of unorthodox, but it's worked out really well. He's only now just adding his factory and 2 more gases. So he's going to have this timing here with the Combat Shield finishing up. And he's going to try and make Reynor make a ton of lings. Reynor's only on 40 workers right now, not a huge worker count. You don't want to be making these lings, but you have to. The Queens will be the anchor here. The Zergling's going to try and wrap around probably. There's a lot of Marines, though. You got to be very careful here not to trade inefficiently as Reynor. Wow, he's going to just leave. He said, okay, you made all those lings? Perfect. That's what I wanted.
You know, it's so high risk to just have a ton of Marines out with no medevac, but if he manages to get back, it's a pretty crazy play here from Cure because to force the lings and then be able to regroup is the dream, right?
Yeah.
So we've got 10 more lings about to hatch. There's eBays that are... I couldn't tell if it was 1 or 2, but yeah, this is going to be painful here. He's going to knock down this. Some of the lings are stuck on the outside and are chased away.
Yeah, actually losing a few lings there, having to run from the rocks. If they land on your lings, they'll die, obviously. So yeah, he does lose a couple there. Cure's actually staying out on the map for a surprisingly long time. This feels super risky, but he's confident. Even going to stim in here to the mineral line. Picks off a queen, picking off lings. This is so many Marines right now for so early in the game. Going to get tons of damage here. I think he will clean this up eventually, but at what cost here? Queen's going down, lings going down. These Marines actually going to stim again. There's no more drones here to kill. Just going to try and trade out as effectively as he can and then bring the drones back here and continue mining.
That was definitely a good trade for Terran. I'm curious if that was... Is that the right move or should he have waited? I guess to trade out that was... So it's almost 60 lings for 30 Marines?
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm not sure.
It looks... Honestly, it looked pretty good to me. Like, getting the Queens is always nice. And behind this, he is going for Marine Tank. He's got his upgrade on the way as well. Reynor's going for Banelins. He's going to try and get Banelin speed. That will be crucial to deal with the next attack, the Marine Tank push. So if he gets that out and he's on creep, I think he can have a good engagement. Right now, we're going to take down this debris here. I'm curious if Kira, he's going to push into the 4th base location. I think there's so much creep coming out of the 3rd for Reynor here. Just going to come up, see what these Zerglings are doing, clear a bit of creep, deny some vision. It's very nice moves here.
Yeah, so far he's really just clearing the creep paving. That's all through here. He has, I think, just enough Marines that they can't all fit in the medevacs, but, you know, this is a much safer approach here. We've got tanks out, and Terran, I think, is eventually going to be doing a 2-base push here, landing the 3rd CC shortly here.
Yeah, he's adding it on, but he has a ton of units, so he can definitely pressure. He's making 7 Marines at a time right now. But Baneling speed is going to finish, and once you have Baneling speed, if there's still creep, it can be super dangerous for the Terran to move out. I'm curious, I don't think Reynor knows about this 3rd CC right now. He didn't send another Overlord over just yet. So, but he will probably be scouting with some Zerglings. Actually going to move over here with the Lings. You've got to be super careful. That tank gets picked up and dropped. He's going to try and get a good position here with the siege tanks behind this debris. This is super annoying to deal with as a Zerg. I love what Reynor's doing, though. His Lings are behind the Terran army.
This is a lot of times the best way to stop a push is to just intercept the next wave of reinforcements. But it's all, you know, Terran right now has enough. In fact, he's not even going to inch the tanks forward. He's not going to even bother. He's going to just try to micro back here. Now, sandwiching this is the best way to approach this. And I think this entire push, wait, is it going to get shut down? There's a couple Marines left over, but probably not enough to really stay and fight, at least not here, I think.
Yeah, the town count gets reset, though, which is huge. And meanwhile, on the back of this, Reynor on 65 workers here. Meanwhile, Kira has not even landed his 3rd base at, 8 minutes 30. Reynor has that 4th base mining a little bit now, so I think he's super ahead economically. Really nice defense there. Puts him in a really good kind of position here in the mid-game. Going to try and load up with those medevacs, be annoying. These Lings dying around, seeing if they can get into the natural, but Cure will have that tank on the high ground, able to deny that. Meanwhile, this 4 medevac drop coming into the main. Not that many Marines, but still enough to pick off some stuff. Be annoying, drag the Zerg army home, and then get out of there.
Ooh, another pickup here. And I think Reynor's in just a pretty comfortable spot from that attack that he held off there earlier. As long as he basically doesn't get another, and I don't think there can be, by the way, from Reynor, from Cure, any kind of massive push. It's why Cure is playing a very different game and trying to harass now, as he's kind of realized, well, he doesn't have the muscle on the map to kind of push out and secure any point. I think also pushing on this map in like the kind of position Reynor's in for Terran, I think it's a little bit harder than a lot of other maps.
Yeah, I think Reynor's probably going to want to wait until Kyo takes like a 4th base and then attack in 2 places, that kind of thing. Right now he is on the back foot. Kyo is trying to use his multitasking, attacking in 2 places at once with this Marine medevac. But right now Reynor's in such a good position. They're up to 73 workers. He's got his upgrades on the way. He's got his defense in position. These medevacs can't do anything. And the creep spread is starting to look really good here.
Okay, so Reynor's nearly maxed out. Oh my gosh, good queens. I was wondering about those queens earlier when we saw the medevacs go by, because I don't think actually Kier knew there were that many queens over there, but if he accidentally flies into that, he's going to lose those medevacs, which is basically what happened there. But, Reynor, despite having, I think, a pretty treacherous early game, he's okay. He's looking really strong. And this game, by the way, so different from the Reynor Maru games where it was all mech. Like we talked about a little bit, Sturgeon, before the games actually started. I thought this would look more traditional in TVZ, look more like TVZs in the past, and so far that's the case.
I love these Bane in landmines Reynor's got out on the map here. It's so scary as a Terran. Like the first time, when you don't know they're there, the first time they're revealed can be absolutely devastating. You can pick off like a huge clump of Marines. And I like that you spread them out in little pairs so you can try and catch Cure unaware here. Going to take down the debris here, open up more angles of attack. That one Marine got dropped onto the watchtower. He's trying to do dude, imagine being that Marine stuck next to the watchtower and there's like 100 Zerglings in front of you. Must be absolutely scared out of his mind right there, but he's going to do his best.
Oh, did he see the Baneling landmines?
Oh, he does scan it.
Okay.
Crucial scan there.
Yeah, that was going to be really important. A lot of times these two bridges, that's where like a lot of friction on either side happen on the map. So I like the idea of Reynor planting those there. I think it's a great idea. What's funny is he kind of thought he was sandwiching this. And I guess he sort of got some of it anyways. But, well, there's like even units coming up from down here. Cure's army was so fragmented there, even though this surround from Reynor kind of came off looking a little weird. It basically got the job done.
Yeah, nice cleanup there by Reynor. He's going into his Vipers now. He's got his +2 on the way. He is scaling well into the late game here. He's got his 5th base up as well. I think he's in a great position. Cure's over-mining a lot at that 3rd base. He does need another CC at some point, unless he just wants to try and all-in on 3 CCs, but this army from Reynor is looking very scared. He kind of has all the tools he needs to make this defense, right? You're going to have the abducts on the tanks before the patch goes live.
Right.
You're going to have the blinding clouds if necessary. Adrenal on the way now. Going to add a ton of damage to these lings. This could be the turning point in this game here as Cure is moving up, trying to get set up over the bridge, as you talked about. That's kind of the place you want to put your tanks, right? And then slow push from there.
Yeah, he's going to continue to micro these back. Both sides are reaching that peak max out. Reynor with a lot of gas. I mean, he can make so many Banelings. Keep in mind, Cure has kind of powered up on 3 bases. Right. It's not like he has half the map, where Reynor basically does. Which means he has to push through here and crush this. But I think with the sheer number of Banes that are available in this game, isn't Cure just going to get smashed? Even though his positioning is crazy good. Like, look at that spread. It's very anti-Baneling. I think the Baneling count should just be so high it might not even matter. We're going to find out now.
Yeah, he needs an amazing fight here. Cure on the ropes. The blinding clouds are beautiful on the tanks. None of them can fire whatsoever. So many Banes and Lings rolling in here, going to take out all the tanks. The Marines are falling. Cure is on the back rope here. The Queen's even coming forward to hit those medevacs. Cure took a pretty good fight overall considering though. And Reynor needs to regroup. He just needs time to spend his bank, get the units out. Cure going to try and end the game before that can happen.
Yeah, he's going to micro this back now. These Lings are going to come forward here. And there's no Banes in this, so they really need to get that surround. The Marauder in the back just a little bit too fast. But there's so many Lings here, it just doesn't matter. And the supplies have plummeted. But Reynor's is going to start spiking up again, I think, a little bit quicker here than Cure's. And remember, like, Cure didn't deny anything.
Right.
He didn't kill a hatchery. He didn't wipe out a bunch of drones. Like, you don't care if you've lost a ton of your army if you've traded it into theirs. That's kind of the whole point, right? And right now, Cure, he just doesn't have a lot of map presence.
Yeah, Reynor's up to 6 bases here. He is looking good. The one thing Cure will have going for him is 3-3. It's about halfway done right now. I think that's going to be kind of his last chance to make something happen in this game. He's hitting a sick 3-3 timing. But Reynor's supply is getting out of control now. He's had the worker lead all game. He did have the hiccup losing the 3rd base, but he just cancels it, remakes it at the other one. Very calm response. You're going to come in. This is what we need to see. We need to see him hit the economy of Reynor somehow.
Okay, he's going to be able to take this hatchery up. It's of low consequence. This is like, obviously it wasn't even mining yet. And he's going to head over here. Hey, Cure, despite being really down in supply, is able to play the positional game.
Yeah, he's hitting 2 places at once, trying to stretch in the multitasking of Reynor. Reynor has a huge pack of Lings on the map here. He's going to probably wait for Cure to move out and then send those in. Meanwhile, the medevacs get in parasitic bombed. One of them does go down. The units need to go back to the main and deal with this little force. Another parasitic bomb on the medevac in the main. Reynor's defense looking very good this game. He's even added in Hydras now, so the medevacs won't be able to just fly around over the Ling Bane forever. They will eventually get shot down.
So, things have evened out quite a bit. And the truth is, especially the base in the top left, it's really far away from everything. Reynor doesn't have that many more spots on the map. Cure can keep trying to grow here. It is harder to kind of take an entire side of the map as Terran when you're playing this comp. You really have to kind of rely on having this, like, battering ram of an army that can kind of clear areas. And so, by the way, Reynor at 6 o'clock is going to counterattack here.
Yeah, huge run by here at 2 bases at once. Going to get a bunch of SCVs, probably a tank goes down. Meanwhile, the fight on the bridge. This Terran army is so clumped up, Tasteless. The Banes are going to roll in. Big connections, beautiful blinding cloud on that tank. The Terran army is starting to fall here. The Marines and Marauders kiting as best as they can. Actually a pretty good trade for Cure, but Reynor is remaking 40 Lings at once. These Lings still not cleaned up, doing more damage. The CC has to lift here. This was some good damage by Reynor as a counterattack.
Okay, SCVs are going to be sent back over here. The main and the natural are mined out. Obviously, a game goes on this long, that's going to happen. So Cure's just mining from these 2 bases. He's still trying to push across the map. He can make this work. I mean, the supply is pretty low, but the army supply is actually pretty high here for Cure. The problem is I don't see any weak point that he can really push into. The middle of the map seems too hard to make that work. It looks like he's going to once again just have a fragment of his army head up here to the top and poke this base out, and basically do the same thing he did earlier and have another set of army come down through the bottom.
Yeah, he is pushing up here with these medevacs. Going to just try and snipe hatcheries where and when he can. Taking a pretty good fight here. The Lings will have to leave. These Hydras come over to help out. Going to push away this force. I think the medevacs went down there, but he did get the hatchery. That is something. There are a few spores there as well to help with the anti-air. Kira's going to push over on the right side now. He's still trying to clear out this creep. He's actually done a very good job of denying the creep spread. It basically hasn't moved in the last like 8 or 9 minutes. It was kind of at this point a while back, and Kyo's been doing a very good job of stopping that. Yeah, he's just running here in the middle. These medevacs have a ton of units in. We'll need to unload. I think Reynor's going to be the one that will try to be aggressive soon. 2 Banelings morphing in your mineral line. That is not what you want.
Yeah, definitely annoying. Actually, Bros again. He could unbro it and make a Bane again later. You know, it's weird. The game has kind of slowed down now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Cure is going to try to amass another army and try to push, but, you know, the way this map is shaped, there's just a lot of, like, vacancy in the middle.
Yeah.
Bases aren't really, like, even when you know, normally in a lot of maps you expand, and when the game gets big enough, you're expanding towards them.
Right.
I don't feel like that ever really happens on this map.
Yeah, there's like so many horizontal bases kind of spread around your side of the map, and kind of this no man's land in the middle. Reynor, though, is going into lurkers here, so at some point he's going to be able to take really efficient trades against this army. Baneling landmines everywhere. Here has to be super careful about those. You don't want to just lose a ton of Marines for nothing. That lurker den is now done, so these Hydras will be able to morph. And yeah, he's looking like he's trying to spread up the left side of the map and continue to deny the top left base of Reynor. That seems to be his focus in this game. We do see the Groove Spines upgrade on the way. 5 lurkers and +3 melee for Reynor. Adding in some more gas. Really going to try and lean in heavily to the lurkers. And at some point, that can get out of control as a Terran, right?
Right.
He's adding in the ghosts now. They will be able to snipe those. That's useful. He's got a couple Liberators as well. And yeah, I'm actually surprised how well Kira has managed to stay in this game and get his economy going here.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's basically just going to sit back and power up. And there's probably going to be exhaust play here from Terran, if I had to guess. I guess these super exterior bases, like top left and center right, could be a place to try to poke out here. But other than that, I think Terran doesn't want to try to close this out with a push anymore. Yeah,
really nice blinding crowd on the turret, actually. Going to let those Vipers fly around wherever they want. The Lurkers siege the CC, so it does have to lift here. 1 medevac parasitic bombs. Here comes the Zerg army. Decides not to pull the trigger there. Maybe, okay, a little bit hesitant here. He's still denying this base from mining, though, so this is good damage for Reynor.
Okay, the push has succeeded, but it didn't do a ton of damage, right? He just forces it to lift off. Oh, my God.
Oh, is he looking? Oh!
Nice. It's too bad they weren't stacked in pairs, or he could have actually killed off a lot more. That'll at least drain the medevacs of energy, which a lot of times, you know, Terrans do lose fights when they just can't actually heal anymore. They don't have that sustain. But yeah, the game has really, really slowed down.
Yeah, indeed. Secure adding on 2 more CCs. He's getting his Liberators. He's adding turrets to deal with the Vipers. That 1 Ling finally going to be picked off. But I think as a Zerg player, you've kind of got everything you want in this game as Reynor. Normally there's a scary point while you're trying to transition to Lurkers. And then once you get them, you start to feel good about head-on fights. That's what we're going to see here from Reynor. He's going to try and pick some fights. Just moving up here on the edge of creep. The Vipers fly over. There's actually a lot of Vipers. Huge run by again into the natural. So many Lings here with Adrenal.
Yeah, and you know what the funny thing about when you're maxed out here is you can't rely on units popping out to kill this.
That's true,
It's like this. It's a really big problem, actually. And so, luckily for Curie, he's going to lose some of his army and be able to remake the army inside of his main. But this damage that Reynor did, this actually will be so hard to recover from because, oh, never mind. He gets some of the army back over here. Still, a lot of infrastructure missing. This is going to be really hard. I'll go back to my original statement. It's going to be a very tough game from here on out for Cure because Reynor, I think for the first time outside of squishing a push, has basically done a ton of damage. There's going to have to be a lot of rebuilding here. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be smooth sailing here from Reynor.
Yeah, that one Zergling there denying the CC from landing. Always annoying as a Terran player. You have to send units, you have to scan to get rid of it. That is what we see now. On the back of this, though, Reynor has a huge bank. Almost 4k minerals, 1.5k gas. He's going to be able to make another round or two of units here, whereas Cure is still not maxed. He does have a lot of money, but he's not able to spend it because of the damage the Ling's done.
Okay, another attack in over here. The Lurkers are going to try to run. Stim Marines and Marauders are a little bit faster. Yeah, they're, you think about Hydras as the worst unit to retreat off of creep, but Lurkers are actually pretty bad too. Even though, Cure took a couple lumps earlier from Reynor, I'm still trying to figure out, does Reynor have enough to actually wipe out these positions? Because this game is probably going to end with Reynor winning with a push or losing with pushes. I don't think it's going to be about Terran trying to stop the Zerg anymore. Yeah,
Reynor's decided his time, though. He's going to push in here. The blinding cloud, the parasitic bombs go down on the medevacs. The worker line going to be targeted by these Banelings. Lots of SCVs going down. A huge Hydra count, actually. Going to attack into the Lurkers here. So scary as a Terran player. Reynor denies this base again, and this is looking like it's going to be critical damage. Even taking the base right next to Cure's there. And he has the other one at the 4 o'clock position on the map. Reynor's economy looking great. Cure down to 30 workers right now. His economy is kind of in the dumpster. He has no money right now.
Yeah, I think if Reynor could basically hit 6 o'clock and then just kind of play that game, it's really about just inhibiting the Terran from growing. I think those are the win conditions here.
Yeah, it looks to be that way. Cure unable to mine at
here?
all. Yeah, that's a little bit cheeky.
Big balls energy there. That's crazy. I kind of like it, though. So he's going to basically just maneuver through his base to the bottom and do the same thing. And I think this is the most straightforward, simple way to win. You don't have to go all the way and finish them off. You just let them spend money on building defenses out here, smash it with your superior economy, and then just run back and wait for them to do it again.
Yeah, there is a planetary here. The tank, the Liberator getting pulled into those Hydralisks will go down instantly. The planetary falls. The CC gonna have to lift her if it wants to live. A little bit of an awkward angle with that CC kind of blocking it, but GG is called. Beautiful game, number 1 here from Reynor. Swarm in the map. Nice defense at the start of what was kind of an unusual build from Cure.
Yeah.
With the bunker to deny that third base.
I mean, the late game was great, but honestly, the early game strat was my favorite.
Yeah.
So he kills. So I would have done the same thing if from the Zerg's vantage point. I would see 2 barracks and be like, oh, it's Reapers. And then these Marines pop out. You're like, so the Overlord gets killed, which basically never happens, right? In pro play, you're never losing the first Overlord to Marines. Even on like low-level play, you eventually know where to hide it. So that created a really interesting situation where Zerg actually doesn't know what's going to happen. Now, I can't really fault Reynor for taking another base and basically playing like normal. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? But that's how that crazy bunker rush got pulled off. But there was also a game where it seemed like what happened early on didn't actually matter, right?
Yeah, I think Reynor didn't overreact to it, which is the real danger. If you make like 30 or 40 Lings to try and kill the bunker and keep your base, for example, you can end up behind because the Terran's expanding behind it. But I like his response. You just cancel the hatchery. Okay, you're making a bunker here, whatever. I'll make it over here. Your CC is delayed, so it's good for me if I can just keep droning and defend with the minimal amount of units.
Yeah, I'm a little worried here for Cure. We'll see if he brings out the mech. Yeah. It seems to have kind of infected everybody that's playing Terran. Sometimes you get someone like Gumiho, you go, yeah, well, that's what he does. He does that more often than he doesn't. But yeah, we saw Maru really pick it up. We've seen a lot of the other Terran players, mess with it. Maybe Cure tries that as we go to map 2 on Persephone.
Yeah, I would like to see him put it out one game. I think he's super strong at the moment and kind of one of the meta styles that we do see a lot. We have Persephone, which is one of our more normal maps, but the map after that is going to be Evil Heart. I can't wait for that, see if any funky strategies come out. Reynor will be spawning here as the red Zerg in the top left, and in the bottom left of Persephone, it is Cure in blue.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. This map, you both start on the left side. I think drops into the main are, I think, a little bit stronger on this map. I mean, Terran drops into the Zerg's main a little bit stronger on this map than they are on other maps. But yeah, we'll see how the game kind of pans out. It is a map where you can get a 4th base that's pretty far away from the Terran. So a lot of times it's harder for the Terran to kind of win off that 4th base push. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, we have a slightly more conventional opening here out of Cure. Going to be getting the racks and the gas. Throw down a CC in a moment. Reynor, on the other hand, he's got his hatchery. We'll have to see if he's going to take his gas here in a moment. Looking pretty standard here in the early game. Nothing crazy happening this time. The Overlord will be able to survive, which is always nice. Okay, we do see the gas go down, followed by the pull shortly here. And yeah, I'm very curious. I think it's up to Cure here to make something happen. Reynor could do one of those roach pressure builds that we saw yesterday. He could even all in with that. But usually I think we're going to be looking to Cure as the guy to mix it up, bring out some different strategies here. He's got a wide variety in his tool belt that he can use in this matchup. Reaper being made now will be sent across the map. Try and be annoying, deny creep. Maybe get the drone at the 3rd if you're lucky. Doesn't usually happen at top level, but you never know.
Okay, so we have the SCV doing the scout now. This is a very, very different opener from game 1. But yeah, you know, Reynor versus Cure here. I did get the impression the longer that game went, the easier it is for Reynor. Like, he's just such a... he's just so solid when it comes to kind of developing as a Zerg.
Yeah.
You know, the games that sometimes we see from Reynor, like in RSL, if he loses, it's because someone was able to kind of rug pull him earlier on, or get some kind of judo flip in there that's going to stop him from getting out of hand. But even then, like in the last game, that's crazy that we saw a bunker rush that succeeded in killing the 3rd hatchery, and it still ended up with Reynor taking the whole map and actually stopping Cure from basically keeping a 4th base.
Yeah, the run buys were so good by Reynor in game number 1. I think we kind of glossed over it, but they did a ton of damage. He's able to get 2 successful run buys into the natural. Super annoying to clear up for Cure. Also, speaking of annoying, is having to remake this extractor like 100 times at your 3rd base. He does want to get that as soon as he can. He's going to add on another queen here. And Reynor taking another gas here. Ooh. Going to be adding on 2nd gas. That will open up some potential aggression for him. We do see the 3rd base going down now. Oh, wait, was that an extractor trick? Did you just extractor trick something? Okay, anyway, some Zerglings coming in here, trying to catch these Marines without the Reaper. Going to be able to pick off not that much. I don't know if you can say that's worth it.
Yeah, I think not worth it.
Yeah, that one unit just chilling in the healing zone, which is, you know, a feature of Persephone here. Okay, forget what I was saying about the 2nd gas. I think he extractor tricked or something. Just going to be droning up here, playing a normal game, getting his ling speed, getting his 3rd base finally. It was delayed for quite a while.
Yeah, the Reaper is just going to loop around. And, you know, it's going to be kind of your standard TVZ here. Like, you know, we're going to get the Hellions to come out. I think all that Cure can do for now is try to just, you know, pressure creep, try to get denies on that as much as he can. The Reaper actually goes into the main. Is he going to get a kill here? He can turn it into a Spore if he needs to.
Yeah, that would be a really nice pick-off if you can get any damage with your Reaper at this point. Oh, but it does buy some time for the Hellions to run into the natural. They don't go for it because of the Evo block. Going to send these into the main. But Reynor has speed links here. I think he's just going to lose both Hellions for nothing.
Yeah, Cure is kind of feeding here.
Yeah.
He's sort of feeding his army, or his units into Reynor, which is never a good thing. The next play is going to be Banshees here with Cloak from Cure, which is not too surprising just because of this map. You know, you get access to their main pretty quickly, so we'll probably see that Banshee come out. But a little bit of a rocky start. We did see Reynor kind of throw away a couple lings, but I think the mistake and the lack of value that was extracted in that move from Cure a minute ago is probably a bigger deal.
Yeah, for sure, I would say so. Cure does have his 3rd CC this game, so he's going to have a much better economy than last game if he wants to go into these kind of mid-game Marine tank pushes. We see Stim being added now, so no mech on the cards. Adding 2 more racks, going to be going into a pretty normal-looking mid-game here. And we're going to probably see the pushes that we kind of know Cure for, you know, getting tons of Marines and tanks. This Banshee flies in, gets 1 drone, is shooed away by the Queen. Cloak is not done yet, and a 2nd Banshee will be joining up with that one. So we'll have a little bit more potential for harassment.
And we've got the double eBay here. So this is going to be a game that, you know, it's going to be all about the pushes, all about, you know, having the ability to just kind of have longevity. You know what I mean? It's not going to be one where he's going to try to come in here and close this out. So I think it's going to be a slower paced game here still for a while. We got the Evo Chamber, the second one. coming down too. His armor's about halfway done.
Yeah, Reynor is taking that top right base as his fourth, which, as he was saying earlier, can be a little bit more difficult to push. There are the speed zones over there, but it's very far away from the Terran base. You have a really long way to walk, so you can't like do a really quick Marine tank push there. You know, you're going to get spotted, and the rush distance is just so big. The Zerg will have a lot of time to deal with that. Reynor went for a 1 Evo build here, getting his quick armor. Now he's adding his +1 melee as well. I think with him shooting away these Banshees again, he's in a really good position here.
Yeah. Yeah, the infestation pit coming here as well. And so we had that fourth base that was taken. I saw like the hologram thing of another hatchery at that other base. And so after you take the entire top, this is where you are expanding towards the Terran, which is where the pushes can actually come into play. I don't know if there's any incentive for Terran, or for, to try to push until the Zerg at least gives him a target that's going to be reachable, right? Like the top right base that Zerg has, we almost never see that even attacked. It's further away than the main is.
Yeah, 3 hatcheries in production right now for Reynor. Oh, I like this, Tasteless. He's going for Infestors here. Not going to go for the quick hive.
Yeah.
Going to try and get some money fungals off, get a good engagement. This could be good here. He's going up 2 hive now after adding in just the 1 Infestor, which is always nice to, jump on the Terran army. But combat shield about halfway done here. And dude, Reynor's expanding very quickly here in this game. He's still got 3 hatcheries in production. His economy is going to be insane if he can drone those up. And it looks like Kira is actually going to try and push this base, not the top right one probably, but siege below the base. There's just to the left of this speed zone, if he knows it's there.
Yeah, this is actually just quietly moving up here. It's actually kind of crazy there's no Overlord here.
Yeah,
when you consider it. So Reynor's going to bring everything up. Now remember that the Marines can like actually kite through the speed zone. He's got the tanks back here. There are Hellbats ready to go just south of this.
Yeah, Reynor choosing not to pull the trigger on the fungal there. Wants to wait until he's completely ready to fight. His Lings are circling around the bottom of the Terran army, cutting off the reinforcements. He sees there aren't any, so now he's going to try and sandwich the Terran on these speed zones. Oh, dude, Lings on speed zones goes so quick, man.
Okay, he's probably going to let the hatchery tank a little bit more damage. He doesn't have to go until he's the last second here, so he's going to try to accumulate a little bit more. Remember, Terran's not reinforcing this.
Yeah, this push, he has what he has there, and it's going to get cleaned up by Reynor. I think what an engagement coming from both sides here. The fungal goes down as well. The medevac will fall with a ton of units in. Textbook cleanup by Reynor. The Banshees come over to try and add some damage, but meanwhile, Kira is hitting the triangle base location for Reynor. If he could pick this off, it would be something.
Yeah, well, he needs a win right now, right? He does manage to get it, and it was really Reynor. Not that he didn't have enough, but he was out of position, and he could get this base as well. Transfuse
is available. He might need to spam those here in a moment. Okay, there. We do see some of them go down. In the main as well, though, Kira trying to multitask as best as he can. Get some damage done. These Banshees just hanging out in the speed zones right now. Getting any units that run by. You'd like to clear this up, but as Reynor, he's going for the quick Ultralisks here. So his only unit that shoots up right now is the Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Normally, you don't see, like, the push fail, but then, like, the little harass move work. But, yeah, I mean, I guess in some ways it's mission accomplished. He took that hatchery out. He's going to send these medevacs up. Oh, sorry, these are actually Banshees up here. I think that the hatchery had a lot of health, though, right? So this is probably just to kill drones.
Yeah, he has to be careful, actually. A fungal could reveal those and kill that one Banshee. Gonna have to pick up in the middle of the map. There is a Spore Caller in the top right. Good defense by Reynor. I don't think he'll take much damage to the Banshees up there. And right now, Q's just gonna try and max out and go for a big push probably. He has added his 4th CC. He's getting a planetary on the way. Even adding some Widow Mines, I like that. And he's pumping out 4 Marauders at a time, so he's kind of making an army composition to deal with the Ultralisks in advance.
Yeah, he's gonna try to push out again.
So many Zerglings, dude.
Yeah, it's just an absurd amount of Lings here. You don't normally see this many Lings just fighting, but I think they might actually be able to win that fight down there. It's actually crazy. There's so many. I guess, is there enough here?
I don't know. The Terran might just barely have enough with the Widow Mines coming over here.
It's like just tanks and Marauders are left over, and there's still too many. That's crazy. I mean, just Lings ended up taking out what looked like a main push.
Yeah, that's insane. He's just adding his Baneling nest now, Tasteless, so he skipped the Banes for like basically the whole game.
I didn't even notice he hadn't made a Baneling's nest.
Yeah, he went straight to Ultras.
That here. That's so sick. Oh, Reynor's so good. Okay, another fungal.
doesn't have one more, so 2 will get away, but 2 did fall.
I think it's going to be Reynor's turn to try to hit 6 o'clock or the triangle base. Yeah, I don't know. You know, Reynor just seems to be too strong on the map, but yeah, that's crazy. Ultra Cavern finished before Banelink's Nest started in this game.
Yeah, going for that super quick Ultra build, relying on the Infestors to get him to that Hive Tech safely. Now Reynor has the potential to go for a time-in as the Ultralisk upgrades finish. He's going to catch this Terran army on the map. The Widow Mines are not sieged. Okay, he doesn't decide to commit without the Ultras and the Infestors there. It's a little bit risky. We have these Queens over here, but they are no match for the Terran army right now. So much bio over here with the mines.
Yeah, he's going to come up here and hit this. There's a big counterattack, and it's going to come right through into the natural. Meanwhile, SCVs at the third base are being punished hard.
Reynor multitasking like a god right now, here in 2 places at once. So many SCVs going down. The question is if he can deal with that army from Kira on the other side of the map. The Ultra is actually going to go without the rest of the army here, but they are so tanky. The Fungals are excellent. Going to be forced back here. Reynor now just needs to regroup and clean up this army, and he's going to be in an amazing position here.
He's coming out here again. He's hitting this so hard. Dude, there's just nothing left over back at Kira's base. There's 117 supply Terran against a Zerg that is nearly maxed out and could do that several times over with the resources available. The natural expansion is a barren wasteland of destroyed buildings here. If he hits 6 o'clock, I mean, Kira literally has nothing going for him.
Yeah, Reynor even taking that gold base now, guaranteeing his economy is going to be insane. Normally the person who can take the gold base is the guy with the map control and who's in a good position. Oftentimes it's the Zerg, as we see here. We have 42 SCVs going down. Kira's down to 36 workers right now on 4 bases. His economy is not where you need it to be at this stage in the game. Frantically adding some Liberators. His 3-3 does finish up. That's something. But right now he is in a bit of a rough position. Dude, still Lings being annoying, trying to pick off whatever they can. He actually finds the gold base.
Yeah. The gold base is going to go down. But, you know, Terran, even though he managed to get some units, I'm worried that if Zerg wins one more fight, the game's probably over, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, Terran's barely hanging on. And Kira puts up a really good fight, by the way. I feel like he's one of the most tenacious Terrans of all time. But, you know, earlier we had 40 SCVs killed. I kind of forgot to mention it. I saw it on the ticker on the side here. And, you know, those SCVs haven't been remade. We're still sitting down here at about 37 SCVs in this game. So, I mean, Kira, even though the supplies alone can be like a little bit deceptive, he's working with so little right now. Now, his standing army is insanely big.
Yeah,
because there's hardly any SCVs.
Supply.
That's crazy.
That is a huge Terran army.
Yeah, that's all he's got going for him. So he has like an army that's so big you don't really see that very often. But Zerg can just counterattack.
Right.
You don't have to engage their army in the same way. And so he's going to wipe out even more SCVs. So now we went from 37 to 17 SCVs. Yeah. Meanwhile, a push is going to come through here. Now, the only way that Kira could win this game is if he pushed all the way through everything Zerg has, basically. He's got this Hail Mary moment where he needs to basically kill everything. Maybe he does it. We're going to find out.
This army is still so scary from Cure, though. 145 supply. The Ultra is going to give the Ling run-bys continue to happen. Reynor's so good with these run-bys, always getting the Lings into the third and the natural when the Terran army moves out. Okay, a nice little pick-off there. Is he going to go back?
I feel like he actually has to just try to push and win. I could be wrong, but like I don't know that you go back and defend your 18 SCVs and start making stuff again. I just feel like this isn't going to work. Even though he's done a good job poking out these bases, I mean, there's still plenty of mining here.
Yeah, it's so scary to just send it on creep, though. You know, if you get surrounded by a bunch of Banelings, you might just get wiped out. Oh, so many Banelings here. Will he detonate them? He's going to wait for the Marines. Oh, huge connection. Absolutely perfect. I love that he didn't do it on the Marauders. He waited for the Marines.
Yeah, he's like, well, I could kill the Marauders, or I can wait. Big, juicy hit there. And now, you know, it's sad that there were so many Marines that were killed off there. And Reynor's basically, he maxes out. He says, let's throw everything in here. See how much of this I can clean up.
Yeah, and, so many Ultras and Banes rolling in here. And this is it for Cure. Like, he's not remaking this army again if he loses it. Meanwhile, Reynor had a big bank. He had 2K in the bank. He's just spent it. And now he has Corruptors, so he can actually start to kill the Liberators and the Medevacs, deny drops. There's actually no more Marines left after those Baneling Mines, just a few of them. So the Corruptors kind of having free reign over the air here. Dude, look at that income graph. That is insane. Reynor's so ahead right now. He doesn't need to do anything crazy. He's just so far ahead, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, what can Kier even do at this point in time? You know, I mean, the army is so big. Look, Reynor doesn't even have to trade efficiently. He can aim move a lot of this stuff. So he's going to come in here and hit this. Even the Corruptors are clearing out the Medevacs. It's not something you normally see in this matchup. But there it is. GG. That is a 2-0 lead for Reynor, who frankly looks untouchable in the matchup ZVT. I mean, he looks like there's nothing that he can do. I don't know what Kier was supposed to do better back there.
Yeah, I mean, he did lose those Hellions early. If you can get a couple drones, maybe you can snowball that into a lead. But Reynor took the lead early, stayed in front for the whole game. The run-bys were excellent. The defense was excellent. I like the strategic choice of skipping the Baneling Nest, relying on the Infestors, and just going straight to Ultras. And then able to get some amazing fights, some good run-bys, and close out game number 2.
Beautifully done. We're going to go to oh, excuse me. We're not going to go to break yet because I got to do a plug. Consider signing up for the Patreon, guys. Patreon.com/Revive SC2. We had a weird year here for StarCraft II. We didn't know if there were going to be any tournaments. There was something like, how long was it? Like 8 months, 7 months of just like no StarCraft II, higher end matches. And it was actually in this period of time we all got together, everybody that's working here at RSL, and said, why don't we just make our own tournament? Like, why do we have to rely on everybody else figuring this out for us? We can just go to the community. They can fund it. We can build it into whatever size and scope the community can match. And so here we are. So if you've just now discovered this or you've been meaning to sign up for the Patreon, consider doing it. The money goes to the prize pool, the production, the staff, and then, of course, we're going to rent out this big live venue at the end of the year here in Seoul where audience members can come see the games in person. So we do hope to earn your support on that.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much to everyone who's signed up so far. Reynor here is up 2-0 in our first set of the day. He just needs one more map to close out this series. But the next one is Evil Heart, Tasteless.
Evil Heart. We're going to be going to that map in a little bit, guys. We'll be right back when we continue on with this best of 5. Go inside. Go inside. No! 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 Ah! Oh! Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Oh, God! Ah! Oh, my God. Oh! Oh!
Hello everybody, welcome back to the RSL. I have kicked Tasteless off, he's over on the couch, and we're all bringing me up here with Mr. Sturgeon, of course, to finish off this little best of 5. Well, hopefully not soon, because currently Reynor's up 2-0, and it's looking like a 3-0's on the cards, but hopefully we get a few more games before we get into our next match today.
Yeah, my brain's still stuck on the Scary Games marathon that Tasteless has coming up in October. That's going to be sick. But yeah, Reynor is also looking sick today. Like you said, he's up 2-0, playing amazing. I think he's playing really fast today, really mechanically well. He's got the hood up, Darth Sidious style. He's locked in right now. Kier looking a little bit stressed there, ruffling the hair. The next map, though, Gemini, is going to be Evil Heart here.
Yeah, potentially very interesting game ahead of us. As you were mentioning earlier in the cast, of course, this is one of the more interesting maps that we have in our pool this time around, with a lot of, actually a lack of bases, I should say. There's really very few bases on this map compared to many of the normal standard maps that we have. So definitely a bit smaller, more prone for some weird shenanigans and whatnot. So very curious if Reynor's got anything cooked up, or if even Kier in this desperate moment might try to go for some sort of a proxy barracks or something like that. We'll see.
Yeah, we saw Reynor go for some roach builds yesterday against Maru. He was actually able to win both of those games. If you're going to do a build like that, I think this is the map that you look at in this series and say, okay, I'm going to do it on Evil Heart, right? It's such an aggressive map, so few bases, as you mentioned. Hard to play like a really long macro game. I think there's going to be a lot of aggression on one side. And yeah, I can't wait to see what we see here. This map is so red, by the way.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, it's very red. Oh, what is this
drone coming over?
Here? No way, we're going to get a proxy hatch in ZVT? That's a wild.
In 2025?
The big 2025. God damn, look at that. It's right there in the net. Wow, okay, so this is going to be very interesting then. I mean, surely it's going to be spine crawlers of some sort as well. And so it seems like Reynor really does have a couple of nice little cheeses cooked up and hidden up his sleeve to pull out against these Terrans.
Yeah, you love to see it. This is probably a map-specific thing he's doing here, knowing that the macro game's going to be a little bit tough. He's going to throw down the proxy. He's getting a gas and pull behind this. Spine crawlers are possible, as you say. We'll have to see what he wants to go for. Cure does not know about this until now. Okay, now he knows. And he's going to instantly make a bunker. That's a good reaction by him. No hesitation whatsoever. The second SCV going to start to poke away on that hatchery, do some damage. Reynor is going to expand behind this, though, so I don't think he's going to go like super aggressive with this. Just try and delay the CC, maybe, for as long as he can.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it looks like he might just cancel it in the last second. Or even... He might even just let it finish and just, like, let the creep actually expand, because it will take a long time for the creep to go away. So that's also a possibility as well. Obviously, we'll see what Reynor wants to do with it. And it looks like, yeah, he will just let it finish. He's going to make a couple lings, a queen or so, and try to at least do something here. I guess he could still kind of all in with it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not, like, totally up to date with these types of Zerg cheeses. So I'm just kind of learning along with the rest of you guys here. So this will be definitely interesting. Oh, my God. The Reaper getting stuck would have been awful. That would have been a terrible start for this defense for Cure if that happened.
Yeah, Reynor actually going to commit to making some lings here. He's making nothing but lings right now. I think this is going to be a ling all in here. That bunker will probably die at some point once the ling speed is done. A queen is going to come out, can throw down a creep tumor. You know, spread the creep towards the Terran main. Going to add a bit more damage on a second queen as well. Okay, Reynor's going for this. Nothing but lings in production. It's all about how can Cure defend this right now. He has a couple Marines in the bunker. Oh, this Reaper getting so low on health, but will manage to survive. The bunker going down on the high ground is key. Will Reynor go for this? Yep. I thought he might just try and die into the main, but of course you can lift the depot. This bunker is going to be gone, and that Marine dies too. And Reynor now adding a couple of drones in.
Yeah, I guess he got what he wanted so far, at least denied the low ground position entirely and got rid of any defensive setup. So he knows that he's got Cure pinned on one base for now and will essentially realize that there's not too much that he can do. He can't just like run the lings up into the main base or anything, because obviously the depot wall is there, so that's going to be kind of a suicide mission. So just going to go now back into the drone. Since we have the hatchback at home as well, we'll just be able to macro out of this, whereas Cure now has this massive problem to deal with at the front of his base, which is just this hatchery. Like, how are we going to get rid of this in an efficient manner? How are we going to get rid of all this creep, because that's going to take forever to recede, so we can actually even expand at all. So yeah, this is going to be definitely not the type of game that Cure was expecting, I would say.
Yeah, super annoying to deal with here, and there's actually some lings out. He's going for cyclones, but on creep, if the lings catch those cyclones, they might even take them out. This is kind of funny, making a bunch of drones here and going to send them home. The lings do try to dive on the cyclone. Okay, he manages to use the Sim City to his advantage. Reynor loses a few lings there, nothing terrible. These lings are going to main out all the way back to the natural of the Zerg. Super long distance there. This game is getting a little bit wacky here.
That's so funny. You just see just a bunch of drones running back home. It's like, oh, wait, we were made at the wrong hatchery. What are we doing over here? Yeah, that is a sight you don't normally see in these games, but we'll be able to get them evacuated safely. And then it's just the lings basically trying to deny this attack from as long as possible. Might even get the cyclone, which would be nice. That's a lot of DPS actually down, which will really limit how long it takes for this hatchery to die. Trying to get as many larvae out of that as possible is Reynor, and just really delaying as long as he can as well, because now he's going to be up on the drones very soon. Once he starts making a few more, he's going to have his third base coming in as well, and Cure still can't get a natural secured.
It's 5 minutes and Terran doesn't have a base. This is kind of a little bit of a nightmare situation. Even once you kill the hatchery, as you mentioned, you need to wait for the creep to dissipate. You need to spend a scan to get rid of the tumor. It's going to be a very long time until Cure gets his natural. He does have Stim on the way. He's making 5 Marines at a time of one base, which is kind of insane. And he's going to have a couple medevacs here as well, so he can maybe do a few drops here and there, try and get some damage done back in this game.
Yeah, finally this hatchery is going to get killed off. We're not going to use those queens to heal it. It might not even have enough energy, honestly. But I feel like the damage has been done, and Reynor's gotten what he wanted from this as well. And you can see how much creep is even being spread here. I love the fact that Cure did go for a Raven with this, knowing that he's going to have to get rid of this creep, so he doesn't have to actually waste any scan energy to kill the tumors. He will be able to just use that Raven, as that will definitely help him out quite a lot. But I mean, you can even just look at the creep now. It's actually almost all the way back to Reynor's side of the map, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, he will be back there very soon here. So yeah, not the sights you're used to seeing here, but plenty of Lings still in the production tab, as Reynor knows that at this point it's just been only units coming out for Cure to try and take this natural. So now there's always a threat of a counterattack, so Reynor has to make sure he doesn't over-drone to be able to defend, and might even just take the fight to Cure if he realizes the army is small enough.
Yeah, he's actually added his armory in here, so I think Cure's going to be looking at a Marine Hellbat time in with the medevacs. It's going to come out before the Banelings are ready. Reynor's getting his lair right now. I'm not sure if he saw the Hellions or not. Okay, he should know they're coming now. And right now he just needs units. He just needs as many units as possible. He's on 50 drones on 3 bases. That's all you need against this. You just got to survive.
Yeah, Kira's going to try to push it across, of course. He's got Combat Shield not even really that close to finish, so his units will be quite low on HP. No Banelings just yet, though, for Reynor, so that's also going to come into play, but a couple of Hellbats will be able to join the fray, and that's going to do excellently versus massive Ling-only army, so the Marines able to freely walk into the third base, kill off some more of those drones, and will be able to kill off the hatchery. Reynor seems like he maybe went a little bit too far with this and didn't quite get the necessary defenses ready in time. So this is going to knock him back quite a bit. And even all those Overlords getting killed off means that he's utterly supply blocked while Lings try to make their way into the natural to cause more chaos.
This army is so hard to engage with Ling Queen. So many Hellbats, so many Marines. He will clean up the run by finally, but once these Lings running into the Hellbats, they're going to absolutely shred it. So many Banelings morph in here. Cure going to hit before they're actually ready. If these Banelings morph and get some good connections,
wow.
But they won't.
But they didn't even finish.
Wow, what a sick timing by Cure. I'm actually amazed he won that game.
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed like his army just spiked up out of nowhere. Like, he just suddenly had so many units. Where for a moment there, Reynor really just had a lot of Lings just lurking around the map. It didn't seem like Cure was even going to be able to get across that easily. But yeah, he just continued to put as many resources as possible into the units. I feel like a lot of players, when that happens to them, something just totally weird happens, and they just kind of lose their momentum, and they kind of lose their muscle memory a little bit. They're like, well, my build is messed up. Like, I can't do what I want to do. And then they start floating here and there. I mean, at least this happens to me. This has happened to me, at least, and I'm sure it happens to many other players, too, where they get something completely throwing them off from the very beginning, and then just, you're floating minerals here and there, like the order of everything is wrong. But if you just spend your money and just get production and just make things, you will have a large army. You're on one base, so like there's nothing else really to spend your money on at that point. So yeah, Cure doing an excellent job of just making sure his macro doesn't slip, even if he's on just one base. Yeah, just keeping it all together and then just sending it across the map. Reynor not having enough to prepare to defend.
Yeah, that's really an army that you need Banelings to deal with. You know, they do so much damage to the Hellbats, they can clear those out. And then your Ling Queen can take on the Marines. But without the Banelings, honestly, the Hellbats just shred Ling, so quickly that Cure is just able to take an amazing fight there. Really kind of good comeback in that game for him. He stayed cool. He didn't panic. Like you said, he didn't get his build thrown off too much. He knew what he was doing. He got the Raven. He cleared out the creep. It's so insane. He started mining his natural at 7 minutes. And he still won the game against the 3-base Zerg. That's pretty insane. But very well done by Cure. He does level it up here. I like the choice from Reynor, though. It's Evil Heart. You do something crazy. It doesn't work. Okay, you still up a game, right?
Yep. No, I did like the attempt. That was definitely a cool thing to throw out here as Reynor. I think maybe if he just cut down on the drones a tiny bit, or maybe just... even if he doesn't cut down the drone, just get the Baneling nest a little bit earlier, I think would have made it much better. If he just had a few more Banelings maybe prepared before that fight is on his side of the map, then I think that goes a little bit better for him. Maybe Cure still is able to micro it out and still win, but I think going for the slightly earlier Baneling Nest would have been potentially the play. But regardless, it is going to be going on to everyone's favorite map to pronounce, Tokamak, as we are getting ready for what looks like a much more standard game from the two, because no proxy hatches being made this time, no proxy barracks or anything being thrown up by Cure. It doesn't seem like many Terrans are really going for too many proxy racks against Zerg in general as of late, I feel like. I feel like the proxy racks meta is not as common as it once was in StarCraft's history, which I'm slightly sad about, because I always find the games to be extremely hype and just very fun to watch, the fact that it's just so all in or nothing.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it always works in tournaments, right?
Yeah,
That's the meme.
You never see it lose.
You never see it lose. But yeah, this is going to be a more normal game here. Reaper opening for Cure here in the bottom left. Reynor just going for the standard hatch gas pool. And yeah, we're going to see a completely different game to last game, basically. Nothing crazy going to be happening here. We'll have to see what strategy both players want to go for. The Overlord floats in, does confirm there's a CC. No early Marines or anything like that in game number 1. The Reaper going to come across here. The drone, he's got to be careful not to lose that. Does hide it by the minerals. That's always nice if you don't get your third delayed. And yeah, Cure just going to try and pick off a Ling here or two. Nice micro by Reynor there, pulling back the weakened Zerglings. Just buying time until his queen comes out.
Yeah, the classic dance of the TVZ early game. Can they kill 50 minerals worth of units or not? It looks like this time it will be a no, and that Reaper will run on back home, as we have a third CC getting plopped down by Cure, as well as he does not kill the 50 mineral unit. God damn.
He doesn't get 50 minerals, and he doesn't get the early creep tumor as well. It's always nice as a Zerg player if you get that creep tumor down nice and quick without it getting sniped, obviously. But like you said, Cure getting a very early third CC here. He's going to be going for a very macro-oriented build. Going into the Hellions here. Adding on his starport. We'll have to see what his unit of choice here is going to be. And yeah, looking like we're just building up into the mid-game right now.
Can he kill the 50 mineral unit? Can he get... he's really trying to get that one little Zergling that's on low HP, but not going to quite happen this time. Just going to bounce into the main base, see if there's anything awry. Nothing to be seen, as it is just going to be those Hellions coming out, and likely, perhaps, going to be a bit of Banshee stuff following as well. Would be fun to see, as it's going to swap on over to the Tech Lab, and will likely be the Banshees. Nice. I know my matchups.
You know this TVZ matchup.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Yeah, Reynor here going to be going for the Roaches, on the other hand. Going to try and defend with those. Maybe get like 4 or 5 out. Use them to push away the Hellions. Oh, tries to make a Spore with that, but it is going to go down the drone. Nice little pick off. Cloak Banshees on the back of this for Cure. He's going to be able to keep harassing here. And yeah...
Wait, I actually just realized, is like a pair of Zerglings 50?
Yeah.
Oh my god, so it's a 25.
25. Yeah, dude, when you said it, I was like, wait, they cost 25.
That's so funny. I didn't even think, yeah, that's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
I didn't want to call you out, Gemini.
You feel free to call me out. I am a Protoss player. It's expected of us. Don't worry. So yeah, we're gonna have Cloak coming on here for the Banshees as well. So gonna really make sure he's diving into that tech and completely to make it so that way, if Reynor is unprepared without a Spore Crawler or something, we'll find some nice good damage. But generally, the Zergs I feel like are quite good at defending a lot of these different things, so it should be totally cool. Usually we don't see ridiculous end gaming damage, but this time it is going to be some mech coming out of Cure yet again. We're getting lots of mech these days. Not gonna have to take it while you get it, because obviously that new patch is finally getting rid of those bug cyclones, so that's gonna be cool. But we still got some more in the cards for us here today.
Yeah, cash in while you can, Terran players. Your reign will come to an end soon once that patch hits. But right now it's still legit.
Get all your MMR when you can.
Get it while you can, guys. Abuse the cyclone. This Overlord gonna float in though. Will you actually see the factories here? He would love to spot this if he can. Okay, very nice scout here. Did he see the barracks at the front? Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so cheeky.
Wow, so he sees a barracks going up. He might think it's bio.
That's so cute. I love that. Because he obviously saw that Overlord coming from really far away. So
huge mind game.
Oh, I love when that stuff like that happens, man. Because that actually might trick him. That completely could throw him off. There's nothing weird about what he just saw right there. Like, Yeah, I'm not sure exactly if Reynor is fully aware if that's actually coming in, but we'll see in the next couple of minutes or so if he puts 2 and 2 together. Double Banshee will be coming into the natural to try and get some drones, but there's a Spore in position, so not too many should be going down.
Yeah, it does get a couple there. Reynor's 4th base already up and running here. He has the infestation pit almost finished here at 6:15. This is a very early infestation pit here. And he has the roaches out as well. I'm holding my breath here. He's going to go for a 6-minute 23 hive. That's about as early as you can get it without sacrificing your economy. Insanely quick hive here for Reynor.
He's just going to go straight into ultras again, like he did that other game, or...
Yeah, he might do. Like that the other game, he made an infester first, right? Just to help get him there against the Bioball. But this time he's gone even quicker hive. Skipping the infester, but adding in the Baneling nest after the hive. So he will have Banelings on the field. He's going to have Roachling Bane to try and deal with any pushes. Banelings, though, not always what you want. I mean, they are good against mech. Roachling Bane can definitely work if you have a lot of Ravagers, for example. But it is nice to have an infester or two. I would like to see that come out, lock down the Cyclones. That's what we saw against Maru yesterday. He had really good engagements with the Fungal, able to pick off some Cyclones every time he pushed. He's actually getting the melee upgrade, though. Wow, okay.
It's also a very heavy tank mech so far, it looks like, from Cure. He's gotten a lot of tanks so far, plenty of them already at his 3rd base. Now starting to throw in some more Hellions with the Blue Flame upgrade coming on in. I don't think he's actually got a single Cyclone on the field. He's got plenty more production coming through, so he's going to have tons of factories. But now this Changeling will make it in and will finally confirm that it will be a meching play from Cure if Reynor didn't already know. He definitely will now. And we also have speed finishing for Zerglings at 745 or so, which is one of the latest speed finishings I've ever seen. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, he did skip that Ling speed, went for the roaches for the early game defense. But yeah, he's up to 85 workers. Kira, on the other hand, his economy is looking very good as well. He's got his 4th. He's up to 83 workers. Vipers on the field now. That's what you want against the heavy tank composition, right? You can abduct them, Blinding Cloud, all that good stuff. A couple Vikings coming out here. That's quite interesting. Going to be able to zone out the Vipers in the fights as well. And Blue Flame finishing up here too.
Yeah, I'm curious how these fights are going to work. Because again, normally we see these mech plays being really made around the core of the Hellion Cyclone, the battle mech style, and then later into the tanks and stuff. But without any Cyclones yet, we do still have that mag field upgrade coming on in. But again, still no Cyclones on the field. It is going to be a very classic Hellion tank mech style for now. So I'm just curious how some of these engagements will start to work out here. Because obviously these armies are going to get really big really quickly. Like, the amount of production that Cure has right now, without the amount of factories he has, is kind of ridiculous. We even have the Spire getting thrown down by Reynor as well, just in case. Really just making sure he has any tech possible. Adrenal's going to be finishing up pretty soon, as that's going to be a key late game ability as well coming in. And Reynor looking like he wants to try and send it across for his first attempt at cracking this mech army.
These siege tanks are not siege right now. Reynor's going to try and dive in here before they can. Oh my god, the Blinding Clouds go down on all those siege tanks. Reynor hitting a sick timing here as his army nearly maxes out. Going to pick off quite a bit, but actually this was completely debuffed by Cure. Going to send just kill all of those Banelings, and that kind of flopped.
Yeah, that was surprising. It felt like a lot of the Banelings kind of were running past the tanks, trying to get onto the Hellbats, and then the tanks all just stood alive that whole time. You saw even Cure scrambling to split the tanks. You don't normally see tank splits against Zerg, but was doing so to try and dodge as many of the Blinding Clouds as possible. And it looks like we're even transfusing some Vipers to keep those alive, as they're getting energy off of the extractor to get more Blinding Clouds thrown out. As the siege tanks now will start to get spread out more, it's going to be much more difficult to get enough clouds on all of those tanks. And this army from Cure is just ridiculously large. He's got the 1-1 upgrades on them as well. These units are going to be very hard hitting, and we're going to have plenty more just streaming across the map as well. Is Reynor actually in position to be able to deal with this? We don't really have many flanking options just over onto the left side as well, as he tries to go in.
This army, this maxed out mech army, is so hard to fight with Ling Bane. Like, so much Ling Bane. I think you just literally can't fight the army. Like, you need to backstab or do something.
Oh, the drones.
Oh, the drones.
Oh my god.
9 going down. The rest will get out. But this is absolutely devastating for Reynor. He's lost so much. He lost a chunk of his army. He's losing the hatchery. How are you ever going to clear this mech army? Ravager's coming in now, trying to get some good bios on the tank. Okay, it does go down. There's something. But look at the supply. Cure's army is absolutely massive right now.
Yeah, it looks like Cure's army is only getting larger while Reynor continues just to bleed out every single second here. Losing things left and right. He's got bases just completely mining absolutely everywhere on the map. His economy completely untouched as Cure continues his way through the natural and the 4th base positions for Reynor. I mean, this is just looking absolutely hopeless for him at this point. He's down so much army supply. Trying to run into a massive tank line with Roach Ravager is never going to go well. A single G thrown out as well as the just gargantuan mech army. Just steamrolling as we bring out any word we can think of from the thesaurus.
Dude, that was genius from Cure. Putting the barracks down at the front, letting the Overlord see that. And then Reynor goes into Ling Bane Roach with melee upgrades.
Yeah.
That's not really what you want against mech, right? Like at some point it just stops trade inefficiently. He did try to hit like a max out timing with some good blinding clouds, but it didn't work. The tank spread was good, like you said. And then after that, the mech just scales so much harder than the Ling Bane, I feel like, in the big fights, if you take a front-on engagement, right? I actually thought he might go Swarm Host when I saw the early infestation.
Yeah, I was also
bit.
thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, did he actually somehow read into this and was like gonna just meta this with Swarm Host really quickly? But yeah, no.
Yeah. It looked like it was an anti-bio build, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like going for the quick hive, you know, getting the Vipers out, getting the Ling Bane with the upgrades. I think that was a bit of a mind game by Cure and it's paid off big time for him. He levels up this series 2-2, Gemini, and we are going to map number 5.
Oh yeah, bringing it all the way. That's what we wanted. No 3-0s, no early easy series. We're going to go all the way here in this first best of 5. Yep. Maganatha going to be the 5th map as well. Also a potential mech map, I would say. I feel like still pretty decent to be able to hunker down on a couple of the early bases on this map. So might throw it out again. But yeah, I feel like it's a general pretty standard good map to have as a 5th game.
Yeah, it's a good quality kind of standard map, like you said. I'm still blown away by the mind games from Cure here, but
it was one little thing too. It's like just seeing that Overlord come through and be like, wow, what if I just put a barracks here next to my factory?
It's so sick, and the Overlord died at like the perfect time.
Yes,
it lived long enough to see the racks, but not enough to see anything behind it. If you float like a little bit further forward and you see the factories, okay, you know, right?
Yeah.
But it died at the perfect time. Cure cancels it, throws down some more factories. Goes into that heavy tank mech that you talked about. We don't really see that too much these days. It's, you know, a lot more battle mech with the Cyclones and Hellions. Yeah, really good mind game by Cure, paying off in that game just now. The map is going to be Maganatha. Cure spawning here as the blue Terran in the top left. Reynor as the red Zerg in the bottom right. And this is it. Everything on the line here. Game number 5. Loser goes home.
Absolutely.
Although they're already home.
Loser goes back into their home.
Loser goes back to ladder.
Yeah,
That's worse than going home.
Yeah. You have to now play 50 ladder games.
No!
With the bug cyclones. Yeah, anyways, looks like Cure's going to be throwing some barracks over at the front of his natural. Looks like it could be a Reaper opener. Although we did have earlier in the series him do something similar. Did he? I actually wasn't fully paying attention on the couch earlier. Was it also a forward wall when he did that early Marine build? Okay.
He has no gas here, so it actually looks like it's going to be something similar.
Right, okay.
That game didn't pan out for him, though. I'd be very curious if he's going to do the same thing with the bunker push at the 3rd. Like, Reynor just dealt with it so well, I feel like. We'll have to see if he wants to go for it, but it is going to be Marines here to start. No gas, obviously, can't make Reapers. He'll throw down the CC and then eventually tech into, you know, Stim probably. And it's up to Reynor to figure out what's going on here. His Overlord, last time he lost it, and that was huge because he didn't see the Marines moving out.
Okay.
If he can keep the Overlord alive here, that'll be huge. And if he can see the SDV and the Marines coming over, it is floating towards the natural right now. Yeah, that depot looks so close to where the CC goes.
Oh, no, it doesn't block,
Yeah,
it
always throws me off when it's like in the circle, you know?
Yeah.
But it doesn't block it, but it looks funny.
It does look funny. I guess as Terran, it doesn't matter because you can just lower it and it's not going to block anything. But it does look very funny just to put it right in the middle of the mineral line there. But yeah, the Overlord's going to come over here, does see the double Marine, and it might actually die. Is there a high ground position right here? That's pretty far away. Yeah, that's definitely going to die.
This is going to die again. So similar to game number 1 here.
That's going to leave him supply blocked. He wasn't making an Overlord that entire time either. It really just started right as it's about to get killed off. So that will be a supply block for now, and that's going to be very annoying as Reynor, of course, having to make a second one there as well to round that out. And then, yeah, Kier's just going to go right into the CC and then still send the Marines right across as well to try and deny a third base. I believe there's an SCV also coming yet again to make a bunker, unless I missaw. Mapu's not actually looking at everything exactly at the same time. I can't tell. But anyways, it should be kind of similar to that other game. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, okay, Reynor does see it this time. So this time he knows it's coming, so he'll be able to kind of respond in a way however he wants. Last time he didn't know until the hatchery was under fire from the Marines, which was when the bunker was done. So he sees it nice and early. He has the choice to make a lot of lings here and kill it before the hatch goes down, or he can just cancel the hatchery and take it at the other base. That was his response in the first game. I think you just have to cancel this here. You're never going to get enough to save this, I don't believe, especially with speed not done. So yeah, apparently Cure thinks this is a build that you can pull out more than once in a best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's done something both times as well. Being able to get this cancel on the third base here as well is pretty good. And then you just kind of macros up behind it, maybe just assuming, maybe he just thought that the first game, some other things were going wrong. Maybe the idea of the build wasn't necessarily at fault in his mind. It was, more the follow-up or, just how the overall macro game went, since it was a pretty back and forth long game. So, yeah, not really putting it up to the builds and just wants to bring it out again. Will be a fast concussive shell coming from the barracks.
Yeah, this is super interesting. He actually got a really fast third CC as well, which he didn't do in the last game. So Reynor might expect it to be another stim push. But yeah, he's actually going concussive shells before stim.
What is that, concussive shells?
Well, maybe he's expecting some kind of roach counter. I don't know.
That is very interesting.
Like, normally you get stim first, right? But
yeah,
he is adding on another factory here. We're going to have to see what he wants to do with his concussive shells. The only thing I can think of is that he doesn't want to die to roaches.
Oh, he's faking it.
Oh,
because he's going mech. He's making it look like he's going, so he just canceled it and restarted it.
Yeah, it's cheaper than stim, right? So, yeah, of course.
Dude, Cure is a mind game. I love this.
We see everything in his mind gaming us.
Yeah, this is wild. Oh my god. Yeah, the second factory comes down, and then it makes so much sense. Oh my god, I love this. I absolutely love it.
Dude, if that's me, I 100% just got baited.
Yeah.
I'm making Ling Bane.
Look at him. He starts it again, and when he sees the Ling start to get closer, he's like, oh my god. I mean, because it's a long upgrade. You have to kind of cancel it. Well, stim is. Concussive isn't. So you have to kind of cancel and restart it a couple times and, make it work around your build order and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, you got to have to keep it looking like it's upgrading for a while to make it so that way it really sells it. And Cure is really trying to sell it at this point. I love that he's not even half-assing the mind game either. He's, like, really trying to make sure that Reynor just completely reads into this. And again, just like that last game, this might really hurt Reynor if he just doesn't notice until it's too late.
Yeah, now it is cancelled again. Reynor might think stim is like almost done here. We're coming up to 6 minutes. You could be reading this wrong if you're Reynor here. That's it's very difficult to spot. Okay, when you see the Hellions, you're going to know something's up though. Blue Flame is on the way. 2 seconds left. Oh, he hides the Hellions. Clears out that Ling with 3 Marines. Cure being super tricky here in this series. And Raynor's going for the Banelin Nest again.
Oh.
He's going for a +1 armor build. This is like what you want to do against Bio, right? This looks like a perfect anti-Bio build.
Oh my god, this is so sick. I love when we have mind games like this. And now he's going into the more battle mech style as well. Oh, this extra Ling is so critical. We'll be able to see the Hellions and the Cyclones. That's a massive scout. That is just I can't even understate how large of a scout that is to come in at this point from Reynor. He's obviously going to need to adjust what he's doing here, as he will now realize that it is going to be battle mech. And we'll see how much damage this is able to get done for now, because for now it's just going to be a bunch of Zerglings on the defense. Can this actually keep Cure away for long enough to get more stuff out?
Yeah, Reynor instantly threw down the Roach Warren as soon as he saw those units, so that means he didn't know it was mech up until now. We see an Infestation Pit going down. He could go for the Swarmos here. Roach Swarmos can be pretty good against mech for a while. Okay, this Watchtower, the Ling that's at the Watchtower will spot the army moving out. And now he's got to try and take some good trades. He could just go for Infestors. We see that a lot, like Roach Ravager, Ling, Bane, Infestor. Try to catch the mech army when it's on creep, pick off a few units before they can kite you. That kind of thing. Baneling speed coming down here. And this army is clearing out a lot of creep for Cure.
Yeah, we got some Lings on the map as well to try and do a little backstabbing, trying to pick off a few units on the reinforcement here and there. Doesn't want to go in for the full engagement just yet, of course, because this army is not really where you want it as the Zerg player just yet. We want to make sure that Cure is really committed with the army first, because this Blue Flame is just absolutely brutal against Ling-only armies. And it looks like it will just be that Infestor coming out as well. A couple more going to be joining soon as some Roaches start to go onto the production tab as well for Reynor, as he kind of scrambles to try and make sure he can get the correct unit count, unit composition, I should say, against what is going to be a very heavy meching Terran.
Yeah, I think with these Infestors coming out, he's going to be able to have some chances to lock down this Terran army, get some good Baneling connections. He's got to hit a fungal, though. This Terran army is actually very scary at this point in the game. Baneling speed is just finishing out, as is Roach speed, so this could be Reynor's chance to go before this hatch goes down. He's looking for the fungal. That Infestor is sharking there, going to pick its moment here. He decides this time, okay, Infestor's just out of range, but the surround is huge. Lings come from the back, and there's the fungal. Reynor picking off a ton of these units, getting a bunch of Cyclones here. They're very expensive. Huge pickups for Reynor.
That was an insane fight. That flank with the Zerglings was so perfectly timed. Cure had no idea that that was coming, and it got the perfect surround to get that massive fungal off on the center of all of them. A great trade coming out for Reynor so far. A lot of Queens, unfortunately, going to die off towards the back end of this fight, but that's going to swing the momentum nicely for Reynor. He even feels confident running after this off creep as well, trying to get as many units as possible. I was honestly a bit worried for Reynor during that. I thought that, you know, the Hellions were really going to start to roast all the Lings and Banes, and the Infestor just wouldn't really get the right fungal off and just kind of just becomes a slow death at that point. But that was just a great momentum swing for Reynor.
Yeah, Reynor even going to try and catch some more units here on creep. He does have fungals available, but decides he doesn't need them. He's adding 4 more Infestors and Neural Parasite here, wow. Gemini. He's going to start neuraling these Cyclones, getting them to take out their bodies, and then killing them off afterwards. I think Reynor can be pretty happy with his position here. He's on 4 bases. He's got his upgrades on the way. Yeah, this game is heating up now. 3 more factories coming down for Cure. Not getting his 4th CC until now, just about in 10 minutes. Going to be powering up here. These Hellions do dive the mineral line. They get 6 drones. It's nice, but it's not the end of the world at this point in the game.
10 at the end.
Oh,
It's
10
actually
at the
pretty
end.
good.
Wow.
A couple more, they got bunched back up as they tried to go back to the minerals. And yeah, that's actually kind of impactful. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
10 is pretty good. 6 was like, all right. But yeah, 10 is actually pretty good at this point, considering the fact that Reynor really did have to cut his drones quite a bit to like get the emergency units out to be able to defend earlier as well. So it's not like he's floating around on 85, 90 drones this whole game. He's completely even with Cure at this point. So the economy for now is looking pretty okay, but honestly, the path to get here for Reynor was a bit sketchy, so he doesn't really want to be losing too many drones going into this. And if we've ever seen if we know anything from some battle mech games that we've casted in the past, in past seasons as well, it's that it can be very, very difficult to actually kill a battle meching player. It really can just kind of keep going on and on and on, despite the fact that you might get a lot of good engages. The units continue to be really, really good and just scale completely well throughout the rest of the game too. So Cure definitely still has some room to find his way back into this if he can get some continue to get some good damage.
Yeah, Reynor's up to about 10 Infestors though now, so he might just have like infinite Neurals here. Going to be able to pick off those Cyclones if they do poke in, trying to reduce that damage we were talking about. The Hellions dive again. Okay, very nice fungal onto him. Still 6 workers going down, though. He will be able to clean these up without too many more losses. Okay, this time I feel like it was okay for Reynor. Good trade. His economy is not where you want it to be, though. You want to be up in the 80s. He's added in these Vipers now. I think he has all the tools he needs to fight a kind of late-game meching army here.
Yeah, it looks like here's going to be setting up on these extra bases. Well, going into the Fusion Core as well to potentially go into super late game. I mean, I'm thinking initially ranged Liberators and potentially, I mean, seeing battle
BCs are on the
cruisers
cup. Mario did that yesterday, right? He went into BCs.
Would be great to see. That would be very, very fun. as he's getting a couple extra starports as well. I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, I guess if he will bring out a couple of those BCs. But the Neural will be great against that as well. So that's all is honestly pretty good for Reynor that he already has that. We'll be able to have some way to lock those down if necessary. Potentially getting some Funkles here, but Cure realizing that the army was waiting there. It's crazy how much one Hellion shot does to a group of Lings. You see that? That's
yeah,
wild.
it's pretty wild, not going to lie. Reynor, though, is getting his Adrenal Glands. He's got his +3 ranged on the way, has +2 melee, and he's got Aspire in time, which is key, right? As soon as you know it's battle cruisers, you want to add in those Corruptors. He's actually going to go for a great Aspire here. Interesting. I'm not sure if he thinks Broodlords are going to be something available to him soon, but against BCs, I don't feel like you can make those. I feel like you need the Corruptors first. But right now, I don't think he knows about that. Still trying to deal with this, mech army that's sharking around. 3 more CCs and Yamato Cannon going down here for Cure.
Yeah, his extra upgrades are about to finish up as well, which will give him a nice timing. Doesn't really want to engage just before that, as they will be finishing up really nicely here. And I think this forward 5th position is really good as a meching Terran. This is why I kind of mentioned this map is pretty good for it as well, because if you can just solidify this forward 5th and just kind of wall off the other side next to the 3rd, you then just have some really small choke points going up different ramps that are pretty difficult to attack up into if you're going against a meching player. And so Cure getting these positions set up will be sitting very nicely in that 5-base setup as he then continues to shark around on the map with this Cyclone Hellion army, trying to kill any exterior bases that he can, and will be able to draw the army over to the right-hand side, and some Neuros getting thrown off to try and steal some of these to get as much of an engagement going for Reynor as possible. But now this opens up the left side, which also gets dealt with very easily with a plenty large army over there as well. So this is actually pretty decent defense overall for Reynor, but still losing some drones on the back end.
Dude, Reynor's just remaxed on Lings here. He still doesn't know about these BCs. This is going to be a real problem if Cure can get up to like 5-6 BCs and just teleport them into the base of Reynor. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to try and neural them, right? But are you going to be able to kill them?
Yeah, true.
They can kill each other, right? But it takes a long time. With Yamato, maybe, okay, now he knows that there are BCs on the field for sure if he didn't before. You're just going to send it. He says, all right, you going BCs, time for me to attack. No, actually decides to fall back here. Doesn't want to after he sees the Sim City of Cure at that base. This hatchery will fall, though.
Yep, this is not exactly what Reynor wanted on it. Obviously, it looks like he's even panic making a bunch of Ravagers to try and have something that can actually deal damage versus the BCs, because as of right now, you're right, there is nothing. He's going to have to lose some units to be able to make some Corruptors, and he's got a great bank to do so. So once he does take an engagement and a fight does happen, he's going to lose plenty of units, and then boom, he can just go right into a huge cloud of Corruptors if needed. But of course, for now, we're going to have to just be banking on these Infestors and then the Ravagers. We can get a nice fungal corrosive bile combo off. That would be excellent against the BCs.
Yeah, gonna get a fungal, take out one Cyclone. That's a nice little pick-off. He's still making Banelins here. His bank is actually massive, by the way. 5k minerals, 3k gas. So he will be able to make as many Corruptors as he wants to when he loses his army, as you said. He's adding in the Air Flyers upgrade. Going to be going +3 melee and +2 armor as well. And I actually thought Reynor would be aggressive there. I thought he'd want to like throw his army away and make some Corruptors behind it, but he's just being patient. I really like it. He does neural that one Cyclone and the tanks take it out. That's funny.
All right, I guess we're going to bring that over here. The Lings getting just completely toasted by the Hellbats. It's ridiculous how quickly they die, and that was like a large majority of the army. We'll be able to neural one and get the Biles. That's pretty cool. You don't see that every day. Love to see it. But 3 more. Just got to go run over to this other base on the bottom side, try to Yamato it down and try and burst it before the army can react, and will be able to do so. That is a dead hatchery before even the slightest reaction from Reynor.
Yeah, and we still have no Corruptors. He's just going to be relying on this neural alongside the Ravager Biles to try and deal with these air. Very, very kind of interesting approach to deal with the air units. But in the last fight, it worked pretty well. I think at some point you probably need Corruptors. He is still upgrading his air units. The armor is super nice against the battle cruisers, of course. Trying to retake this base again. I'm not sure if you can ever keep that base against battle cruisers, honestly.
Yeah.
They can even like Yamato it from the forward Terran base there.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to actually take that, I guess. Oh, no! no! Cure not realizing he's even going to use the teleport in place just to make sure that he can't... oh, I thought he mistimed it. That would have looked really funny. But yeah, he's making sure that they can't just teleport on out there once the cooldown gets thrown out. It would be great if he could kill them. We'll be able to... actually, he should have neuroed the other one, but again, it's, you know, I guess he's in the heat of the moment, as of course there's a massive army on the top right-hand side as well, trying to threaten that base. And this bottom side, which looked like it was going to be a nice, easy cleanup of all these BCs, unfortunately is becoming more of a burden. And now this right-hand side base is getting killed off as another BC attacks the frontal position. There's BCs everywhere. Reynor's really kind of going every which way to try and kill all this stuff off. He's not able to get a solid hold on any of this. He's got 35 drones at his fourth base.
Yeah, going to be, oh my god, yoinking so many Cyclones there, huge pickoffs. I think he needed like 1 or 2 more Ravagers to bio down those BCs to actually kill them in one volley. But he does clean up eventually. Another Neural going down on this BC. Gonna start killing the Raven. This is some friendly fire right now. What am I watching? There's so many Neurals going down. This is so sick. Ridiculous. The Biles as well, but not going to be able to take them out this time. And actually some Infestors fall in here. Doing his...
You need so many Biles to kill a BC. That's crazy.
It's actually insane. Even that wasn't enough to kill that one. I feel like a few Corruptors would help so much, but Reynor knows best. Adding in 6 more Infestors again. Going to stick to this Infestor Bile style. Really cool, honestly.
Yeah, this looks absolutely hilarious. Don't kill those drones. Oh my god. That would have been so funny. Oh my god, the base dies on the right-hand side again. Oh no, we're busy trying to kill these BCs one at a time, and you can see how much attention it requires. Like, you need to just be staring at this for so long, and you need to micro in the exact right spot, get all the Biles down, and you need your whole army there to do it. He's making 11 Infestors at a time. When have you ever seen that since 2012? Jesus Christ, that's insane. But I mean, that's really what Reynor's banking on at this point. He's trying to make this Infestor style work, as he thinks that's the only way to make anything happen versus this giant mech army, which continues to feel like it just cannot stop from Cure.
Yeah, Reynor's done a good job of cleaning up these pushes, but there's 7 bases here for the Terran versus the 5 of the Zerg. Even if he can take good fights, he's going to have to trade so amazingly efficiently. Good fungals going down as well as the Neurals on these Cyclones. I think he will clear this up again. He's got to preserve these Infestors, though. Energy is kind of the only resource that he has a lot of in this game. And even the Microbial Shroud going down there as well.
And that's not buffed yet, Reynor.
It's not buffed yet. It's not 50% reduction yet, dude. Although it is against air units.
Yeah. The BCs were not too many in number at that point, but it doesn't really matter. Just trying to do everything that he can to get as big of an income, or sorry, a bit of a advantage in that fight. And honestly, it did go pretty well, all things considered. That was a pretty commanding fight from Reynor, and his army supply is very large going after that. But the problem remains is that his economy has been in complete shambles for the last few minutes, that he can't even really remax anymore. He used all of his resources on that massive amount of Infestors, and it's not even like it's an army that can easily go across the map either. Infestors are slow, they just waddle around. It's very difficult to just go across and try to kill a base with this. It's not like you're going Lingbane Ultra or something that can just ransack a base on the side while this is happening. So really, Reynor takes a really good fight, but just has to continue to sit here and just wait to eventually max out again. But by that time, Cure is going to be ready with another army.
Dude, how many Infestors does Reynor have right now? The number must be absolutely insane. The Italian's going to poke in one more time, get a bunch of drones. I don't even think these Lings can kill it off once they transform. God. Has to send the Roach Ravager over. We'll finally clear this up, but 14 going down. Reynor's down to 35 drones right now. His economy in shambles, Gemini.
Yeah, this is really tough to watch as a Zerg player. If you are rooting for Reynor, I feel like this constant drone harass is just so brutal. We saw the shot of all those Infestors lurking on the bottom. That is just such a ridiculous number of Infestors. You really don't see that nowadays. I feel like that's something of days past, of the good old Brewlord Infestor days, as they are not as common. But regardless, Reynor will try to find something with them, as they are really the only thing going. 2 Hellions alone are going to mincemeat the rest of Reynor's economy, because that's basically everything that's sitting here. Even the Lings!
Oh, barbecue going down there. They do get cleaned up. Nice fungals, Neurals on these. Going to actually be able to bio them all down. Very nicely done there. But Ghosts are being added here for Cure, as well as Cloak, personal cloaking. If he can get some good EMPs on this cluster of Infestors, Reynor's going to have nothing.
Yeah, no, the infestors are everything at this point. It would be crazy if we can get a sick EMP off of these infestors. Because with Cloak as well, you can just walk right up. If there's no Overseer in position, it's going to be easy for that. It looks like the bottom left-hand side will get cleared out for now, but that's really nothing when you think about how big Cure's economy actually is. Literally taking his entire side of the map at this point. I feel like also, I don't think Reynor's really had any Overseers with his army, so once these Cloak Ghosts come in, I feel like they're... Oh, no, there is an Overseer. Okay, we'll have one. Thank God. So thankfully, they won't just walk up and just EMP everything. But there's still the chance here, of course, because that Infestor Ball, you can't really split these against EMPs, I feel like.
Yeah, and if you lose that Infestor Ball, that's kind of going to be it. I really like that he's brought some SCVs with this push, just kind of repairing units as he goes here. Going to move up the... he's going to get some snipes off on the Ravagers. That hurts a lot. Reynor has no economy here to replace those with easily. A run by going to go by here and see that this base is already mined out. Just like a no man's land here. Absolutely nothing over here. Going to TP some BCs back to defend against these Lings. They are going to kill stuff quickly, but they don't shoot up, obviously. So they will get cleaned up. But Kira has the whole map right now. He has the top right base. He has this base near Reynor's third. Like, he just has everything. Oh, huge amount of neurals going down here. But this has been the story, right? He gets a good engagement. He neurals everything. He cleans it all up. And then Cure remakes it. Because his bank is insane. Because he's on so many bases.
Yeah, that was a really good fight yet again. I mean, the efficiency from Reynor continues to be very top-notch. But like you said, yeah, he can't really do anything at this point. He's getting just great engagements, and then he just kind of sits here, unfortunately, which is not, his fault. I'm not like saying he's playing badly. It's just like it's just the side effect of the style that he's unfortunately been forced into going, because he can't really go across the map. He's going to try to finally do something now, because he realizes he can't just keep sitting here and just waiting for Cure to suicide army after army with the most ridiculous bank that he's had. So he's going to try to make something happen, but he's killing bases that have already been mined out, and there's not really much to them anymore, as Cure continues to move towards the gold bases, towards the watchtowers as well. This is, I'm still struggling to find the win condition for Reynor in this game.
Yeah, the only way he can win is if he wipes the Terran army and like gets on the production or something like that. Yeah. But it's going to be so hard to waddle over there with those infestors and get up the ramp into the main. Cure just going to keep pushing, keep trading out units, abusing the fact that he's got a much stronger economy. I think he had like 19 infestors though, so he does have a ton of them. Near infinite neurals and fungals available, tons of biles. Reynor's army is coming back. He's sending a few Lings across the map as well. I like that. These drones will be forced to evacuate even more going down here. Reynor down to 24 workers right now. Okay, we'll pick off a couple ghosts, so he will keep his infestors alive, as well as this tank going down. Some nice moves for Reynor, but the numbers are just getting too rough at this point. 5k, 3.5k in the bank for Cure. The fight's going to happen if Neural not going to go down. Oh, huge biles on those tanks, though. Very nice.
Yeah, we'll be able to kill some of those off, and that's the end of the game. Always the most anticlimactic timing sometimes. But yeah, no, a nice time for Cure, of course. At that point, it was getting very, very difficult for Reynor to take any more favorable engagements. I was about to say even that his army, despite the fact that his economy has been so bad, that means that his army is huge because he's not got any supply really, blocking that anymore. But even at the end there, when that one little engagement, so much of the supply just disappears immediately, and he's just right back to even, and it's like, what can you even do at that point? And so, yeah, Reynor realizing that he's basically in a massive uphill struggle that entire last, 10 minutes of the game, and it's like, all right, this is too much, I can't do it. Cure bringing back a... he was down 0-2.
He's down 0-2, reverse 3-0 by Cure. With the mind games as well.
Yeah, the mind games.
Tricking him into thinking his bio 2 games in a row.
That was sick.
That's so sick.
I can't even believe it. So yeah, Cure is going to be going against Zoun coming up next year. The winner of which, by the way, does qualify for our offline finals, which is very cool considering the fact that Classic has already actually qualified. He's in the finals, so the second place one will be taking that. So it's going to be super sick to see who will be able to do so. But yeah, a great PVT to round this out.
And that will be a best of 7, Gemini.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, a lot of games coming up here between Zoun and Cure. Cannot wait to see who moves on. As a viewer, I'm kind of hoping for Cure, on that TVP finals, but we'll see how it goes. You never know. But what we do know how it goes is the Patreon, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's supported so far. This is what the scene's all about nowadays, community support, keeping StarCraft alive. Please check it out at patreon.com/ReviveSC2. There's a bunch of tiers you can choose from with various benefits depending on what you get. You can vote for stuff in the tournament, maps, players, etc. And a certain tier gets access to that offline event, gets a free ticket.
Oh, yeah. We would love to see you guys sign on up. We've got plenty of you coming in recently. It's been great to see. But we're going to be going to a short little break here before our next PVT series. It's going to be a best of 7, of course. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh my God, he's hiding and waiting in there? He waits in the room? Oh my God.
We were talking about that ad we just ran. I was a little bit heavier in that one. That was bad tasteless. He was fat. He couldn't run away from the monsters in time. He was too heavy. Guys, thank you for joining us here. Crazy series. So we have like a little couch over off to the side for whoever's on break, and then there's like a little TV where they can watch. But it's on the TV's on the same delay as the stream is. Yeah. So there's a 3-minute delay to prevent any cheating. And so I'm like, the game's getting so crazy. What I'm watching, I'm hearing your casting, but what I'm watching is like behind. So I'm like, oh my God, it gets even better. I eventually like walked all the way around to the production side, and just watched the game from over there.
I saw you do that, and I was like, crap, is something wrong? Like, because you never go over there. So I
walked over to production, and went, they're the worst casters in the world. No, it was so crazy. I'm like, I don't want to because then it's going to finish, and we're going to be on break. I want to see how the game actually ends, right? Amazing series. Cure obviously moving on now, and he'll be up against Zoun.
Yes.
And again, this is the losers finals. So after this, we are going to go up to the grand finals tomorrow to close this out. So we're either going to get a PvP or a TVP. Classic, by the way, the champion of RSL Season 1 could very well be the champion of Season 2.
Yeah, having a back-to-back would be very interesting, honestly. It'd be kind of cool if he can just do a repeat here. But, of course, one of these two players is going to be trying to deny that.
Yeah.
Trying to...
But if Classic wins, if he wins Season 3, too, it's just our offline event's just going to be him sitting in a chair, and we all just kind of stand around him with our arms folded. We go, he's really good. He's really good at the game. He won all of them,
We can't do anything else.
There's no tournament.
There's no other solution.
Yeah. We're the only solution, we go, Classic, play through the whole campaign on Brutal.
And that will be more difficult than the three tournaments, because I bet he hasn't done that before.
He'll turn his chair and look, it's pretty hard. I go, Brutal is pretty hard. Blizzard did a good job with that. But,
this is like a totally different skill set than the normal multiplayer, isn't it?
Cure versus Zoun coming up, guys. A TVP as all the Zergs are out. The fans can't stop cheering. They said, no more Zerg. Only 2 races. We're going to find out if it's only going to be 1 race after this best of 7.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So we've got bottom left, Zoun over here, top right, Cure.
Yeah, would love to see some cool PvT stuff in this series. I mean, Cure has been throwing out some mech. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he brings it out yet again. Once more, it would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, I mean, Zoun has been looking very good in this matchup as well. He was able to beat Cure earlier in the tournament as well, I believe, unless I'm completely misremembering. I'm now just like hesitant to say that after I already said it. It's like, you ever do that where you say something that you're like 100% sure about, and then once you say it, you're like, wait. Actually, I'm not sure if that happened.
Every cast I've ever done. I'll say something, and then I'll go, I'll be like, well, he needs to take a 5th base. And I'm like, does he have 5 bases already? I go, and my heart will skip for a second.
It's like when you go to the airport and you're like, I don't have a gun in my backpack.
Yeah,
wait,
when they're checking my bag, I'm like, well, what if there are a bunch of drugs in my backpack? What if I am trafficking a child? No, I've definitely had that feeling where I get something wrong and I go, well, do I correct it or do I just let it slide?
I'm pretty sure Zoun beat Cure earlier in the tournament. I'm pretty sure about that. But yeah, anyways, I mean, they're going to be doing this second match here. And for now, it looks like Cure is going to be just going for a Marine opener to play it nice and simple. Whereas Zoun, of course, will be waiting to see what he's going to be going into. He's been doing a lot of interesting stuff in the early game of PvT. He's even brought out a couple of interesting double gate 2 Adept openers, which are very strange, which you really don't see from any other player, which has also kind of had just kind of not that, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it has much impact whenever I watched it in those 2 games he played it, but I would love to see him try it out again in this series just to see what it looks like.
So, let's just go big picture for a second here. And by the way, we're on the advent of a new patch coming.
Oh, yeah.
That was exciting news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that Blizzard is still here, the keys are actually being able to be used to unlock the door into this
It's
this
pretty crazy, yeah.
cobweb-ridden
I said, oh, great, they got a
closet.
patch. I can't wait to open Twitter and have people, for some reason, yelling at me again. And it always does. People they're tweeting at me about the patch notes. I'm like,
Tasteless, why did you
I'm
ask
not
them
on the
to-
balance council. It's like, Tasteless Hearthstone packs are too expensive. I'm like, I don't work at Blizzard. Stop tweeting this at me. Why do you guys talk to me? And then what happens is then it's another guy yelling at that guy,
Yeah.
and then they're yelling at each other, and it's just in my timeline.
It's just a giant
I'm like, why are you guys
tweet
tweeting?
chain.
I don't have any control over this. Okay, it wasn't my idea.
Tasteless, why are you nerfing Zerg? And
Tasteless, since RSL started, the Protosses are winning, Tasteless. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is that TVP does seem to have some fundamental, I guess you could say, issues, right? The way that this matchup appears to be working, and there are, in RTS games, there are matchups that end up like this where it's not necessarily bad. But in this case, it seems like Protoss needs to be stopped before they get out of hand. And the problem is that if Protoss just uses splash damage correctly, which is a weird thing I think I've never really said in the past. You never really say, oh, you need to use splash damage correctly, but it's true in this case.
Yeah.
If you get Psystorm and Colossus, Thermal Lance, and Disruptors, the Terran can't really crack you. And so this is going to be fun. We're going to see one of the last, if not, I don't know when the patch is actually going to release, but one of the last super important TVPs with this iteration of the game. So Protoss, I mean, it doesn't mean they don't have to attack, but they generally just stay back. They kind of play conservative, and Terran has to try to figure out how to finish them off.
Yeah, we're going to be having a Widowmine drop coming in here first by Cure. We'll be just trying to do any sort of damage and disrupt what they can. Of course, the Widowmine drops don't normally get too much done, as we're even going to get a little bit of a heads up here with that probe over at the third base. So that will actually now just sit in the corner in the dead space, which is actually really annoying as a Protoss player, because you have to just always have this, in the back of your mind that it will just eventually come at some point, and you're going to have to leave some Stalkers there to be able to defend against it. So, yeah, that will actually be a nuisance for Zoun for the near future, as he's getting ready to go for a Blink Prism attack as well. So he doesn't really want that sitting there. He would rather honestly just deal with it and just have it be done, so he can fully pay attention to the attack at the front, but will have to leave 3 Stalkers behind.
So, excuse me. So he's going to send these Stalkers out now. The Medevac really can't do that much. This is going to be another game where it's a powering 2-base Terran. Although in a lot of these games, it seems like they kind of sit on this almost just to not die to the Stalker blink, and then they just take like this. Then they just take a third base. So it does feel like Terran really can't play many other ways. Oh my God.
What? Wow, that is an ambitious blink forward, maybe not quite realizing that the tank was there that entire time, but will be able to do some nice juggle micro with the Prism to keep most of the Stalkers alive anyway. He barely doesn't kill that Cyclone. That would have been a nice little pick-off, as that does threaten the War Prism quite a lot if it does go too deep. But that Medevac also is still kind of lurking around in different parts. I think it's over towards the main base now even, so that's still possible to have some damage getting done. But we're still going to try to poke away at the front base here as Zoun, trying to get whatever damage he can as the Widowmines go back into the main, but perfect reaction time will be able to deny it.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to get exactly 2 probes. He's going to have to pick up and move back out. It's been interesting. I don't know what your thoughts are on this as a Protoss player, but I feel like every time I see the Stalkers run out, they always attack the front and not blink into the main. Why is that?
So normally, because I think the idea is that generally Terran players expect you to do that, so then they're always going to have their stuff prepared, because they also like to sit on the ramp there, and also because nowadays a lot of the Terran players are doing the building walls to make it just more difficult to go up into the main base anyways, and usually there's going to be a tank like right behind the barracks over there or something like that, so it's kind of easier just to go into the front, because then you can kind of just break down the depots at the front as well. You might be able to catch them off guard, so I think that's generally the idea of it, trying to do a little bit of mind game of where you're actually going to go. I like the 4-Stalker blink into the main as well to deny the Cyclone, and now also start to kill off some of the SCVs. So nice little maneuvering here from Zoun.
It's kind of funny to see these Widow Mines rush up in the fight and stand around.
We are going to do something, maybe.
So he is now on his third base. Psystorm started. We've seen some games where people go Psystorm on 2 bases, but you're probably better, as long as you can, don't get attacked and killed, obviously. You're probably better off taking a third base, getting Psystorm a little bit later. And I don't know if it's going to happen right now, but soon we're going to see Terran try to do some pushes and attacks. And, this appears to be basically how the game works in this current state, is that you just kind of mass expand, and you almost, as Protoss, kind of play like your Zerg. You're basically just like trying to max out and take bases, and, instead of spreading creep, you're spreading pylons and, batteries and cannons and stuff like that. I am curious, by the way, how Storm is going to feel with the patch change.
Oh.
I feel like I can't actually wrap my head around it.
No,
like when I read the patch notes, I actually did on my main YouTube channel. I did a reaction talking about this. If you guys want to check it out, but yeah, that's going to be it's a big change.
Yeah,
I'm ambivalent if it's good or bad. I don't know, but I have a hard time in my head knowing what the game's going to look like with that.
Yeah, it'll definitely look very different. That's for sure. It's supposed to be this kind of big bursty damage ability, and now it's just going to not really do that. So it'll be taking some getting used to if that does actually end up going live. But for now, it looks like we're going to be going for a forward blink, actually, as Zoun is trying to meet this army in the middle, but getting stuck on the bridges, not quite expecting the rest of the army to actually be waiting behind that. So we'll lose quite a few units as he's trying to make his transition over to the Robotech. Only has 2 Storms available, or 2 Templar available with Storms here. We'll try to throw a third one down as it's about to die, so really nothing happening there. The rest of the army getting flattened. There's nothing here for Zoun.
Oh my god, is Zoun just going to die outright? This looks really bad. It's 161 supply to 114. The Storms went down, but the bulk of everything is still here. Some DTs have been warped in. Medevac was shot down full of Widow Mines. I mean, if Terran's going to close this game out, it should be now. This is exactly what we were basically saying Terran needs to do, is to end the game before Protoss gets too big. And this push, especially with the number of Marauders that are trickling down here, I mean, I think it can go all the way.
Yeah, this is looking really good for Cure. Zoun not quite expecting this. Was really trying to go for the fast transition over into Colossus while also getting his full 4-base setup. 76 probes as well. Wasn't really ready for this. Blinking forward into an army that was much larger than he thought and getting completely caught off guard. These Templar on the left only have energy for feedbacks. There's no energy recharge there to get those 2 Storms available. So unfortunately, won't be able to storm those off. The rest of the units getting bled out here. Nice pickup on that Archon with barely any HP, but the units just continue to come across here for Zoun, for Cure rather, as Zoun struggles to make any sort of defense.
Yeah, he is pushing him back.
Yeah.
The medevacs, I guess we have another medevac here with energy, so there's a little bit more sustain, but that's going to be it. GG. Cure takes game 1. Very nice.
Yeah, that was just a solid push. Like, really, he took no damage too much, really. I mean, the Blink Stalkers were able to do some damage, maybe.
Yeah.
There was like an SCV or 2. I didn't check exactly how many he killed, but
yeah.
The tank shots on the initial Blink forwards were pretty good. They kind of just kept the Stalkers at bay, so not really doing too much there. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like he just was able to amass enough units in a pretty uncontested way, and Zoun just really wasn't expecting Cure to be as aggressive as he was, because he just looked completely, like, he literally just looked like he just like fell over, just like he's like walking upstairs and just trips and falls on his face. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. Zoun just had nothing waiting.
He definitely, it was like watching somebody fail at a skateboard trick. You know what I mean? Really.
That dude, that was Zoun's first time trying a kickflip and just completely shatters his ankles.
Yeah, now he has a shattered femur. No, it was rough. Look, you have to be ready for when the Terran hits. All you have to do is defend the Terran attacks and keep growing. Didn't happen that last game. Probably a big confidence boost here for Cure, who's playing amazingly, by the way. He really didn't miss a beat. If you don't get enough initial damage with the Psystorm or Disruptor shots, whatever the splash damage is going to be, you're basically dead.
Yeah.
It's really hard if it's like neck and neck like that. It's really hard to actually fight back and like the tug of war back. I mean, Terran's just better when it comes to like stim, stutter step micro. Oh, is this fight's not convenient? I'll pick up. I'll go in the main now. So it's tough. We're going to go into game 2 now. Right now we have Cure with a 1-0 lead.
Yep, Maganath is going to be the next map. We did a little bit of Eminem right there.
Yeah. Bit of a rap god, you say.
Oh, thank you very much. Maganath is going to be the next map.
So
you go ahead.
No, you go ahead and talk.
You go ahead. You cut me off.
You talk, and if it sounds funny, I'm going to laugh at you.
You made fun of me, now you get to speak.
I don't have anything to say. Oh, Depot got made. Now it's a barracks. Whoa.
Oh, my God. Is that a barracks in the main base?
It's for making infantry. Yes.
Oh. Tell me more, Tasteless. What is that thing? What do you call that?
That's a refinery.
Oh, thank you for
It's
teaching
used to
me.
get gas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It is crazy when you think about it that you can't have more than one worker make something.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Like when you see an Age of Empires, you go, oh yeah, that would make sense. I guess one guy wouldn't make like a temple by himself.
There's not going to be one construction worker for the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just one SCV slowly moving around. You wouldn't believe how much material I had to go through. So this probe is going to come in here and attack this SCV.
Only then does the second one come.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's the only time
guy's
you
like,
go,
why couldn't you help me build this?
You help him when it died. They go, all right, but we're going to take you off with as much HP loss as possible. And by the way, you're an SCV. We're not going to heal you later. That is for Marines that
You're a waste of resources.
Yes.
I need that to make more buildings.
That's for Marines to last a half a second longer before they die to charge lots. So know your place. So this is going to be, excuse me, tech into fast expand. Unless we have some surprises with the build here for Terran. Protoss is going to go for the Cybernetics Core. It'll probably be a Twilight Council in Blink. I don't feel like we see anything else but that.
Yeah, Stargate's really out of fashion. It's not what we see anymore. We'll be going for the Stalker first and then likely into another Sentry to go follow it up. Or could actually be a double Stalker. I've seen Zoun go for that as well. But it is going to be that factory double gas opener before expansion, like you mentioned. For Cure, going to be likely the Reaper Hellion stuff. Potentially even a fast Widowmine drop to follow it up. But yeah, we'll try to go for a little bit of aggression earlier on to try and see if Zoun is a little unprepared. But plenty of batteries getting put down already for Zoun, so should be ready should that come across.
Okay, so we've got that Sentry here about to pop out. And I don't think Cure has to change anything. I don't feel like I'm as familiar with Zoun's PvT in this kind of current meta. You know, I've only basically cast those 10 days of GSL earlier this year, and then some obviously Season 1 RSL and EWC, but that's not a ton of games, you know, for all the different matchups with all the players. But, you know, I don't know if he's particularly weaker at this. The Hellion and the Reapers don't actually go for the run-by. Oh, no. Okay. Well, I really put myself on the spot here. I'm like, he won't shoot a grenade. Oh, he did. Okay. Well, I really put myself on the line there again.
It's just a little frontal pokey poke from Cure. Doesn't want to go too
I'm like,
crazy.
he'll make a second Cyclone. Oh, never mind. It's a tank. Sorry. Did it again.
He's going to make enough SCVs to get supply. Oh, just kidding. He has enough supply.
Jesus, do you not know what your job is? It's not to be clairvoyant about what happens in the game. Yeah, so the Robo, everything's just going to be about teching here. I think we'll probably see Zoun go for another early third. I don't think he has to rush into Storm. Although, honestly, that is my kind of favorite build right now.
It does look cool, though.
It looks pretty sick. To
It's
just
like,
go straight up
it's
two
like
base
such
and a storm
a
in third base.
Giga Chad Protoss move. Just
It
sit on
is.
2 bases, just rush out your craziest tech first, and then just like, you can't kill me.
Yeah, yeah. And now I'm playing a city builder. Now this is Sim City over here. So he's actually going to send this in with the Reapers.
Ooh, that would have been nice if he could actually kill the medevac, but it looks like a very kind of weird setup here. We'll be able to keep the Cyclone alive and a couple more of those units. Oh my god, if that was even just slightly closer, that would have been a dead medevac. Very risky there, but we'll be able to get out just in time. Blink not finished, of course, so won't be able to chase it as the Hellion just kind of sits here.
That's so funny because there was that hologram of the Nexus, and I'm like,
Oh, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't see it. I was like, it looks different. I don't know what that is. Oh, there's a Hellion there.
You just thought it was like a texture on the map or something?
Yeah, I did. I literally then like I saw flame shoot at him. I went, oh.
That's so funny. But yeah, we'll be able to deny that for just a moment, but Blink is going to finish on up, and that will allow Zoun, of course, to get a little bit more map control and find his way across should he want to. And of course, you do generally want that as a Protoss player. This is now your time. The early harassment phase is over from the Terran, and now this swings over towards the Protoss. Although a Sentry dying to a Hellion would be pretty unfortunate here, but it looks like the Hellion's just going to go suicide for some scouting intel instead.
Oh my god. Okay, he does get the kill there. Doesn't end up taking any workers. Stim's starting late. I don't know which add-on here is actually making the Stim upgrade, but we should point out whenever you have Stalkers with Blink that come out, if we do in fact. Actually, I guess he's not even going to make a Warp Prism. I guess I decided he had a Warp Prism, but no, he's just playing a very passive game. So there's the Psy Storm. I was going to mention Stim getting sniped. Obviously not a factor now. And we got to wait and see. You know, the Terran's always going to take a late third because of the possibility of that threat of Stalker harass. And I think we're going to see a push that's basically replicating the scenario that was game one.
Yeah, we'll see if Zoun is able to kind of adjust a little bit, as last game, of course, he was really caught with his pants down, and this time he is setting himself up a bit differently, I would say, trying to get the Storm a little bit quicker and just overall be a little bit more robust. Loses that Observer on the right side is a little bit annoying, so that will lead to some potential weakness to drop Harass later if Cure wants to return, and Zoun doesn't actually get another unit over there to spot or anything like that, but for now, yeah, you're going to just be ramping on up for Zoun to make sure he's got his Storm finished up. And it's not going as aggressive with the Blink Stalkers like the last game. So it will allow him to, like I said, get a more robust army for the fight later on.
Okay, CC about to finish. We're going to see this move out now. The Warp Prism could be used to basically create a pin here. You know, once you see the Terran push come out, you could just try to do a warp in and try to kind of pull them back in their base. The other thing it might be used for is to pocket the Templars. This is something that started happening in StarCraft 1 that Artosis and I were seeing in the ASL cast we do. And it's just stayed. And it seems like it's trickled over into StarCraft 2, basically. You don't care about EMP, you don't care about snipes, because it's too hard if the Warp Prism can come in at an angle to just drop them out and then spray out the storms.
Yeah, it does make it much more easy, of course, to get the dive bomb storms off. A very fun little tactic to watch play out, of course. But yeah, I mean, Zoun is actually playing it very passively this time. Doesn't want to go too far on the map and get caught out yet again. So
yeah, it is going to be for that, by the way.
He is really just lurking around, just waiting to see if Cure can push out and then jump on the army whenever it does come out, keeping that Templar, keeping that Prism with the Templar in it above the army as well. So, but you can see Cure is just like, nope, I'm not. I am not going to move out. I am going to pre-split as much as possible. I'm not going to die to any sudden bust or anything. I want to max out.
Yeah. So here comes. Terran's moving out. You got to be careful with some of these moves, by the way, when he lets his army kind of get split in half by going around like a rock formation. Mm-hmm. And you usually want to hit this before it gets to your base. You want to get those storms. You want to basically hit when there's kind of a big school of fish moving through here. Try to get there. It is. Perfect. Oh. Perfect storms. Oh.
And he walks right back into
God.
it. Oh my, that's insane.
That's crazy. That was like the greatest storms ever. If this was a diving competition, we'd be holding up the little 10 signs.
That's true, and he's going to go in for yet another one as there's still some Templar energy left on these two that are in the Prism. will be able to chase it down. Kier's even trying to kill off the rocks and try and deny it. Will actually deny those Templar from getting close enough, but that doesn't really matter that much because the rest of the gateway units are still enough to be able to shove this back towards Kier's side of the map. Now the Prism able to come back in with some more of those Templar and kill off the rest of these units. This is looking much better for Zoun in this game number 2 when he actually has full army control of everything.
Yeah, I think this game could end. I don't know that this third base is going to be kept alive here. He needs to just micro that Immortal back. Oh, never mind. There's a million Zealots coming up here. Okay. Wow, GG. Okay.
That is going to be that.
Game 1 went this way, but game 2 went that way. That's our analysis.
That's how it goes.
One game, the push worked. The other game,
it didn't.
It didn't.
Whoa.
Woo, PVT. The patch is coming. You're going to miss the state of the game. You guys are going to be posting online. Don't you feel like it was better when Terran either won or lost based off that one push? If the Storms are good enough. Storms literally could not have been better.
No, that was so perfect. He caught him at the just like
there were 3 Storms and
little...
exactly 3 perfectly grouped units to just eat the Storms.
Yeah, and he tries to walk back, but then he A moves forward again and just walks right back into the last one that was still ticking.
Yeah. I mean, it's
that was brutal.
Wow.
I'm a Protoss player, so I'm looking at that and be like, oh, that was gorgeous.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful.
That was literally
that inspired
amazing.
me. Yeah.
I can't wait to go home and do
I'm
that.
I'm finally going to write that book
Terrans.
now. I'm inspired. Guys, we need you to subscribe on YouTube. Oh, I know. Here, I can do a YouTuber thing.
Oh, yeah?
Because we're live on YouTube right now. Some of you guys are watching and you're not even subscribed. Smash the like button. Destroy it. Obliterate the like button.
Here's a picture of how many of you that are watching that aren't subscribed.
Only 8% of my viewers are subscribed. Yeah, see, am I doing
Fix
it?
that.
Fix that, guys.
Click the button.
It's free.
It doesn't cost you
anything in case you're 80 years old and watching my channel and don't understand that. Free. Okay. Why not, youngster? You need to subscribe to our YouTube, okay? Our mission is to grow this tournament as big as possible. So if you're watching on Twitch, all right, get the other tab open. I know you got your popcorn here, and you're just shoving it in your face like this, and you got Butterfingers. And your girlfriend hates it when you get your Butterfingers on the keyboard. My wife makes me wash my hands after the. I'm like, this is my computer. You don't use my computer. What do you care? Anyways, wash your hands. You should wash your hands for you. But then go click open that other tab. Go to the YouTube page. Revive SC2. This is serious.
I'm sorry.
This is not funny. This is very serious. And subscribe. Join our channel. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, this best of 7 will continue on.
Oh my God, he's hiding and waiting in there. He waits in the room. Oh my God.
What's up, everybody? We are back. We just watched, excuse me, we just saw Cure just get demolished by Storm. Just absolutely. He all of his units took damage. They moved to the Storm. They're like, and then when they got through, they Michael Jackson moonwalked backwards. They went, just, just through the Storm. That can't happen in Game 3. Because if all of your units take all of the Storm damage and more, you will lose the game.
I never thought I'd hear Taze do a Michael Jackson.
I can't do it
in my life.
I can't go that high.
Oh
I can't go.
Yeah, if Kier wants anything in this series,
just units
he can't
getting
do that
stormed,
again.
doing a little twirl down. I can't even describe what in my head I was. Yeah, whatever. It was funny in my head.
He needs the fedora and you look
all right, we're gonna go. What are we talking about? Evil Heart is gonna be the map. I was like, Evil Heart is very bad. It's been very evil. We're going to see who's going to take the lead. This is a best of 7. So the loser's out. The winner is going to go up against Classic in the finals. Classic, who already won Season 1 of RSL. Is he going to win 2?
What?
Is he going to win all the RSLs?
He's gonna be the
Someone stop him.
two-time.
The 2-time.
Oh my God, it could
back to
happen.
back, literally.
Yes.
Blockbuster video game champion. Guys, we're ready to go into this game. Cure vs. Zoun continues on in what so far has been all about whether or not Terran can win with that push or not.
Oh, yeah. Well, Evil Heart is definitely a map that could lead to some more of those types of early pushes, of course. I'm curious if Zoun wants to do that 2-gate opener, actually. I feel like of all the maps, this might be the one where he tries to bring that on out. So we'll see if he does want to go for it. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious what Cure is going to try to bring to this one as well. Because, of course, the first time the push worked very, very well. The second time he got caught with his pants down. So, yeah, I mean, it could really go either way. I would feel like I think both players are pretty evenly matched so far in the series. So, it could be anything.
Okay. Zoun with, absolutely cleaning up that execution, by the way. Just, using the Warp Prism with the Side Storm. It's always good to intercept the Terran. A lot of times with Terran, it's about, like, trying to take some fight, or at the minimum, stalling them, like making them siege up and then running away again. Then, like, for instance, at PvZ, where a lot of times you're like, okay, I need to stay back and be perfectly ready for when they hit to kind of execute all my moves here. But look, if I had a guess from Zoun, I think he's probably going to do the same general kind of build again here. He doesn't seem to want to do anything fancy or deceptive. These are giant banelings in here.
Yeah. They're
just stuck
in stasis or something in these little tubes.
That's all. The only Zerg you're going to see from here on out in this tournament. It's those banelings just trapped in there.
They're everywhere. There's on this side of the map too.
Yeah,
There's
they're
a bunch
everywhere.
Of them. So many banelings.
Is it like Resident Evil, or are they going to turn them into zombie banelings? What's going on?
That'd be cool. So cool if you could like attack them and they actually spawn and you just get banelings on your side.
Yeah, it might be a little bit unfair, but
I wasn't saying it would be unfair. I said it would be cool, Tasteless.
Well, it would be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're gonna have a little bit of a slow start here, man. I think it's gonna be a little bit of downtime before this game really picks up.
It's gonna be another Reaper Hellion opener. It looks like from Cure to try and get some kind of damage done. He wasn't really able to do too much last time. Of course, when he tried this, just was able to poke the front, and basically that was it. But this time we'll be potentially getting a little bit more, as he just goes for that CC on the low ground, actually. Usually you get that on the high ground when you go for this, but we'll just go for the low ground one anyways. But the Adept will be coming across this time as well. So it will potentially deny that CC, actually. So that's actually going to be really annoying from Cure, because I don't think he's going to... Well, he actually does have 2 Reapers, so I guess he could just kind of swat this away for now. But
there was an Infestor in there, too. It's like a little sensory deprivation tank. Little Infestor Joe Rogan sensory deprivation tank. That's kind of cool. So this map, I actually really like what they did here. It's kind of it's expansion light in a lot of ways, right? They've experimented with some maps in StarCraft 1 with this too, and it kind of simplifies the game, or I guess it forces the game to a conclusion a little bit faster versus these maps where there's like tons and tons and tons of bases. Meanwhile, these 2 Reapers are going to run up into the main. The Adepts are shading in here to try to rescue these probes, and it looks like he's going to get at least 1, maybe even 2.
Oh, nice grenade. We'll be able to double bounce them, actually, so we'll be able to get a couple more probes because of that. Actually, 2 more probes, potentially even 3. Ooh. Yeah, wow, all 3 of those are the result of the double nades. Otherwise, the Adepts would have been on top of them early enough. So nice little micro there from Cure to be able to get a pretty nice little early damage with those Reapers. Not normally able to get so many probes.
Okay, so we've got the Robo coming along here. Blink is on the way. And we're going to see the first... Oh, that's funny. Okay.
Well, bye-bye. Oh! I thought it was dead for sure.
I thought it was dead for sure.
Wow, that's crazy. What is that? How much HP is that? Oh, you didn't click on it. But yeah,
yeah,
anyways, very, very low. Literally 1 shot away. But we'll be able to... That's actually kind of annoying, though, that you have to use that energy for that recall this early. You would love to have that as another Chrono on Blink or something like that. So a little bit annoying, especially because he is going for 3-gate Blink, actually. So, or sorry, 4-gate Blink. So it is actually kind of annoying that you won't have one more on the Twilight or something, but... Regardless, shouldn't really end the game or anything, but we'll see if this medevac drop can do anything.
Okay, more gates coming out here. The third base, did he take the third base earlier in the last game, or am I crazy?
I believe he did, but it's this time he's going to go for 4-gate Blink, so more committed this time.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, this is going to be much more aggro. So he's just going to try to take out the pylon that's over here. And he gets it. You just take what you can get. Terran back home is going to have to be ready and have... You basically need 3 siege tanks to stop Blink Stalker like with War Prism Harass. And you need to have them kind of chained together within range of each other. So there's one at the natural, which is already there. You want to have one on the high ground and then one that's deeper into the main. And usually that kind of stops this. We had a lot of periods in StarCraft II where Terrans just got owned by this. It's a super strong way to play. It's not very high risk for the Protoss either. And so, I like the point. I actually learned something from you earlier. Gemini, you were pointing out, like, it's so predictable to go in the main. Everybody kind of preempts that, so a lot of times they just attack in the front. That makes a lot of sense.
We'll be able to go into the main with the medevac drop. A little bit awkward timing now. So, again, more probes going to get killed off here. 7 in total, 8 actually getting killed is great for Cure, as Zoun is forced away by the double tank as well. Great positioning on that high ground as well. Really an unexpected position, I'd say. I feel like you don't really expect the tank to really get damage in that kind of area, so the map kind of leading towards that. Zoun, what the fuck was that? Wow, that was...
God. That might be the funniest thing I've ever seen in the game. Because I know what he wanted to do. Oh, no. I'm crying.
Oh, that was...
Yeah, there's nowhere to go. You can't get the tank for the... It's actually so funny. Oh my God,
he's gonna blink in.
I don't know what's happening. I've got tears in my eyes, but I don't care.
Oh, the stalkers are dying.
God. Oh no.
Oh my God.
My eyelids flipped. I can't see. I don't know what's going on. Oh, help me, God. I'm crying. It's so funny. Oh, I want to watch that again. We don't have instant replays
We need an
yet,
instant
guys.
replay.
I'm sorry, but we need to see that again. It was so funny.
Holy shit.
Oh my God. I'm fucking laughing so hard.
Jesus is literally dying
Oh
next to me.
God.
I've never seen him laugh so hard in my
God,
life.
that might be the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well,
You gotta really know this game now. It's so funny. Oh my God. Okay, I'm back.
all right.
I'm back.
He's done it. He's survived.
Oh my God.
We've survived a Zoun moment for sure. Oh my God, we're blinking into Bio and Marauders there, continuing to be aggressive. Jesus. Zoun doesn't really learn from his mistakes, apparently. He's really just got such low HP on all these Stalkers, as this has just been an absolute disaster for him. While all that was happening, losing Stalkers left and right.
Oh man. So Zoun, 67 supply to 111.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy. And you know, we know that Terran's gonna wind up for another attack. I don't think you have to do anything special here as Cure.
Yeah, no, he's just getting his extra barracks. I mean, he's going to be rounding out super well. He's taken very little damage overall, and his army is just gigantic at this point. Yeah, he's going to be really just sitting pretty. And the fact that this map is so small, he can just be on the other side on Zoun's turf so quickly whenever he does decide to actually push out. So it will be very, very quick when this happens. He does have to be careful still of the storm. He doesn't want to Michael Jackson walk into those storms yet again.
No, you don't want to get stormed and then moonwalk back into the storm as you move out of it. Yeah, I mean, I think we just wait. Zoun has to have perfect storms, like as good as the last game. And the last game was literally, I think, as good as you could ever have.
Yep. It's going to be quite difficult at this point. I mean, he's basically just been forced to sit at like 50 probes this whole time. He can't really afford to make anything more. He needs as many units as possible. He's going to see the army walking across now, and you... Oh, God, it's actually getting split up. Is he doing this on purpose, actually? I thought that was the map, because some of these maps you get really caught sometimes with the with the terrain. But
you right-click somewhere and then you lose half your stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
It didn't really look like he was doing that on purpose for a second, but it looks like, you know, regardless, he will get across. And it looks like the storms will try to get thrown out, but now they are not really hitting the mark for now. The top bio was able to move away, and the Vikings pressuring that prism. One storm able to go off on some of the bio, but really that's all that's left is one more will try to do what they can. A second one does come out from the bottom as well. But this army from Cure looks very, very threatening. The Zealot Warpin will try to thwart this for now, but literally it's just these Zealots, and that's basically it. This is looking really difficult for Zoun.
Yeah, this is looking really painful. He does have the Zealots doing damage, but it doesn't really matter if the push can't be stopped. The kiting is superb here. there's not enough even behind the Zealots to have any impact. You know, a lot of times the whole function of the Zealots is really to kind of be in the way, be a big damage sponge. Oh my god, he's going to take out both Templars that are here, these 2 Templars. I don't know what he's going to do. Does he want to morph that into an Archon? No, that's going to be a GG.
That was...
That blink. That's... All of RSL led up to that moment. That was
the greatest
so
moment of
funny.
time. That was like the fact that he like walked forward with one of the stalkers to bait the shot, and then he was trying to bait the shots with the adepts, but then he just didn't drop them on high ground, and then he just blinked
it's
into
like
the wall.
an NBA game, and he goes to shoot, it just goes all the way over the bench. It's fine when it's a bad play, but when it's a really good play, you go, oh man, that's really bad.
He was like really trying to style on it too, and it just completely just flubs it.
Yeah. It's like a pretty complex setup he had, and it totally backfired. So now Cure's up 2-1 in this best of 7.
Yes. Terran players are eating right now as they are watching Cure swat away Zoun in that pretty unfortunately embarrassing game from him. Hopefully he can rebound a little bit to come into this next one, so that way he doesn't make any more of those unfortunate errors. But that kind of did spell the tale of the game. As much as funny as it was, was all the momentum was leading up to that one attack, and when it just kind of fell on its face so hard, and then the follow-up blink as well when he tried to force it into the natural just really didn't go his way. It's like, what are you going to do at that point?
Sometimes it's better to know when to just not do anything. In that moment, like it's Cure, man. He's going to be really strong against it. If it looks like you probably can't get in, you can't get in. So for now, Terrence players who are whining about balance, they're maybe holding back space right now on that post. They're going to put him in. Let's wait and see if he wins before I
click over the tab. Didn't quite hit the
I know that
send button yet.
You spent literally 45 minutes spell checking that post to make sure you look smart when you balance wine. All right. You could have been applying for a job when you did that, by the way. But let's see. I think Cure might be able to take this. This is looking really, really Cure favored so far.
Yeah.
Because the one game that Zoun wins, it's like literally the perfect storms.
Yeah.
It's the perfect storms.
If those don't get off in that exact way, then there's still good chances for Cure in that one. So it was still definitely the good preparation for Zoun, but everything went his way in that one particular game.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see, of course, if Zoun can continue that. Obviously, last game will likely be an anomaly. We're not going to see anything like that happen the rest of the series, I hope. But
maybe we should hope we see that again. That would be that could be fun. We're going to go to ley lines for map number 4 as we continue this series on. Again, the winner will go on to face off in the finals, which is tomorrow, by the way, against Classic RSL undefeated champion.
As there's only been one season.
There's only been one, in case you didn't understand how that worked. Now, in the bottom left is Zoun. In the top right is Cure. And, let's see. Let's see if we end up with a different game. I do feel like all 3 of these games have kind of been like the same thing.
Yeah. It's been very, very similar overall. Just some slight differences in the early games, but generally all converging to the same point. So we haven't really had any massive deviations overall from the different styles. It's been blink pressures. It's been passive, just waiting for storm. So we'll see if we get some massive diversion here. But I don't expect it, to be honest. There's not too much variety, I would say, in the matchup as a whole at the moment, as we've kind of just been saying, as it is going to be just another 2-gas opener from Cure trying to go for basically the same thing. So we'll have to wait and see exactly if it's going to be exactly that Reaper Hellion or if he might try to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of thought we would have maybe some kind of a cheese here from Cure or something crazy. And he just hasn't done it, which I guess is a sign of how much better he thinks he is in this matchup than Zoun. A lot of times in best of 7s, maybe the best part, obviously it's a lot of games, right? But one of the best parts about a best of 7 is it gives you a lot of room to try to alter course, strategic. I'm saying this wrong. Change your strategies from game to game so that you are unpredictable. Like being able to randomize builds is one of the most important things in tournament play in StarCraft. It doesn't matter in ladder. This is why you have a lot of players that are very high ranked in ladder, and then they totally flounder in tournaments. Is they don't really, when you play against somebody who, even if they don't know you that well, they're going to know you pretty well in a, even after game 1 and 2 in a best of 5, right?
Right. Yeah.
But it's interesting that I guess on both sides they're kind of just doing the same dance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always the thing that I kind of like wondered the most about being like a pro player. It's like you're playing the same people over and over and over again. It's like, how do you deal with like the mind games of always just doing the same things versus the same people? It's like I'll experience it here and there on ladder, like playing the same people. Once you're in like, you know, a high enough spot, you just kind of play the same people. But it's like, it's also just ladder, and it's like it doesn't really matter that much. But it's like when you're in a pro player situation, like you're just constantly playing these same exact very few players over and over again. It's like, how do you always think like, should I do this time? Like, am I going to overthink it and maybe mind game too much? It's like, I don't know. It's always interests me the extra mind game aspect.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the only way I can like relate to that is when I played in tournaments in StarCraft 1. It's like and it was always against other Americans. I knew how all the Americans and the Canadians that were good played. You know what I mean? And I knew there were some I could never beat and some that would never beat me. And a lot of times in the tournaments, you just know, okay, they have this quirk, or like, you know, they're really bad versus, I don't know, Reaver drops or something like that. And you would just do that and they would fall apart. But it has to be that times tenfold here with guys like this that play each other in tournaments all the time.
Looks like it's going to just be the Blink coming on in for Zoun like normal, as we're going to be having the early Widow Mine. Looks like actually the Cyclone Marine drop going to be coming for Cure. So yeah, nothing crazy from both of them. It's just going to be very, very standard. The question, of course, is how aggressive is Zoun going to be with the Blink opener? If he's just going to sit back and just kind of use it defensively, or if he's going to be like last game and try to go for the craziest move of all time and fail it again. We'll see what he ends up wanting to go when that Prism starts to come out, or if it's just an Observer. But yeah, for now, we're just going to be trying to deny that Hallucination Scout, but unfortunately, losing track of it will actually get the full scout off in the main base. Cyclone not able to deny that.
Yeah, the 111 tech is here, and we're going to see, you know, what is going to come from this now. It's Blink and Robo again. This time it's Banshee tech. I was waiting to see what Terran was going to make with that. I thought maybe a Raven or something like that. And it's going to be those same two Reapers and the Hellion looking for some opportunities here. I guess the Cyclone going to meet up with this as well. Now, this is kind of a funny little move out. This feels very unsafe for Terran, but keep in mind that in some of these games, Zoun has taken a pretty quick third without intel on the map. I mean, I guess you could just kind of do almost like a jump scare push.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this kind of leads towards just like trying to, like the way Kira is doing it, just kind of sitting in this middle position, because this is a nice spot to just kind of wait around since there are the line of sight blockers right in front. So if Zoun just kind of walks ahead without really thinking and just assumes he's going to pressure. He does have an Observer, though, so that will give him the vision, but still takes a tank shot and loses the Observer, so that will be annoying. And that does leave Cure a nice little staging point for this frontal attack. So he's going to try to see what kind of damage he can do with this, because he's got the Banshee on the front lines as well, just to deal as much damage as possible.
So it's a Banshee with the push. He's going to come in here, he's going to siege up both tanks, and this is where it's really tough here for Zoun. He needs to decide, do I cancel this and ditch this and give Terran the victory? And he has like a, oh my god, he had to, before he could even come around for the flank, he has like a couple Stalkers behind this to hit reinforcements, but here's the problem. There are no reinforcements coming.
Yeah, this is just one main attack, and then everything else is just sitting back at home. He's just waiting to see if he can get that type of engage, but there's nothing really coming. So now he's got the stuff on the back end, but the whole army is coming back, so he's not really able to do too much here. But he's lost the third base. Oh, he's canceled it, at least. Still going into Storm is going to be the play from Zoun, as he was going to try to do that anyways. But this will definitely limit the economy. I like how he's doing this. I like how he's making sure that Cure can't just walk home free. He's trying to get as many little tiny units as possible. Maybe getting lucky and maybe getting the medevac or a tank or something. But I like that he's straining Cure as much as possible, despite the fact that he lost that third.
Yeah, I mean, if you could actually manage to kill that army, that would make it not okay, because you don't want to lose your third base, obviously. But it would have been like, okay, I got something. Mm-hmm. But Cure's in, again, like a really just comfortable position here. The third Nexus is going to finish in a second, which should show you how late this is. And now Stim's going to be done. And, you know, what Cure pulled off there is really hard to do. I feel like that's one of the harder things as Terran to do, is to pull off any of these pushes without Stim. Because once you have Stim and overextension from Protoss, and you just, like, you lose everything as Protoss.
Also, it's much easier to actually run away if you do have stim finish, whereas if you're not going for the stim plays, you are very committed. So the fact that he's able to get home, keeping everything alive, so that way he can now go for this second round attack with stim and all of his tanks still alive and the medevac and the Banshee, it means this third base is yet again likely to fall. If we're paying attention, we'll be able to kill that off right away, trying to go in with the storms at the opportune moment onto all of the bio. We'll be able to clear this out, as there are only a few tanks and Marines left, but honestly still a lot of units getting traded out for Zoun on top of that third base.
Yeah, I don't know about Cure's position there. I do feel like you have to have almost like a spread, like it's maybe like kind of like you're fighting banelings in some ways. You know what I mean? Not exactly, but you don't want to have everything clumped up like that. Like all three tanks is an example, because that's when the storms just do exactly what they need to do. But yeah, Zoun also did trade a decent amount of his army for that.
Yeah, it was not a clean fight by any regard, so the fact that these double medevacs will be able to come in means it is going to be kind of difficult. If we can actually snipe the Temple Archives, that would be great, but not able to do so. A nice reaction from Zoun to make sure that everything can come back. But, I mean, Cure being able to kill a third base twice in a row, I mean, I feel like you can't ask for too much more as a Terran player in some of these early games, because that's definitely some pretty good damage.
Sure.
The army is still going to be pretty good because, of course, he had to suicide that second push to be able to get that damage. But I don't know. I feel like he's still going to be feeling pretty decent coming into this mid-game, so long as he doesn't just suddenly die to storms, which, as we know, sometimes just kind of happens.
Yeah, he definitely has not got his units spaced out at times. So Cure's had 2 victories, and Zoun, I don't. Is this a good idea? Can you actually break this?
I don't mind the idea, because we killed the army. So we killed the army, and it, like, the tank count got reset and everything. So there's not going to be any tanks on this defense either. So I like the idea of at least testing it. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to do it, because the fact that there are EMPs out on the Ghosts as well is going to make it more difficult.
Okay, he's going to end up running through the mine.
Oh,
this is going to make these Zealots a lot more squishy for the actual fight. Nice storms, but there's a pretty decent amount of room here to kite through. Oh my god, I think the last Zealot is almost killed off. He could do another one. Oh, he's waiting so patiently. He doesn't want to just throw them out willy-nilly. We'll be able to get one off onto the bio as it walks forward, as the Zealots try to go into the mineral lines to try and disrupt this as much as possible. There's still very even army sizes. You can see Cure trying to get the EMP, does get it on one of the main Templars with the energy, and that's going to pull the trigger now for Cure to go onto the army, bringing the SCVs as well to try and force this away. We'll be able to kill a lot of these units on the back end. A nice trade for Cure, but he doesn't want to actually lose that CC. It's actually very low. Oh my god, how... Oh, lift it! Okay, he actually keeps that alive. One of the things when you see Protoss retreating is the Immortals are always a little bit slower.
Yeah, it's so sad, man.
It's so sad, and so you watch, like, the Stalkers, they always get away, but the Immortals, eventually they're...
The Stalker blinks
like
away.
The fat kid is running from the bear. There's a whole school of kids running, but he's like, the fat kid can't get away.
Yeah.
It's the first.
It's always
one to go down.
It's always so funny too, because like you'll see it as a ball walking away, and then it's like, okay, yeah, the army's walking away, and then all the blink stalkers blink away, and just leaves the mortal there, just stranded. It just like suddenly is left there, and it just gets killed off.
But even if it doesn't, it just bounces like a little pachinko ball to the back of the back of the line. So that's pretty bad for Zoun. I was saying earlier, I don't think Protoss in some of these games have to attack like that. I think you can just keep growing, but I think he's made the next attack from Terran probably a lot more potent.
Yeah, no, it's going to be much more comfortable for Cure, because obviously Zoun also cut the upgrades while that was all happening. He didn't get a forge at all when that was going on, so now he's kind of panicking going into double forge, so his upgrades are very late. There's going to be a 1-1 advantage for Cure, as well as the EMPs, as long as we can get those off in time to try and negate any of these storms. We're going to try to do the dance, of course, with the Prism. We'll be able to get one off onto the top side of the bio, but those Vikings also able to shell away at the Prism. Makes it difficult, but nice extra storms coming on in. We'll be able to keep this away as there's more to come.
Yeah, I think Terran might just have too much here. The counterattack is doing nothing. There's too much repair on the bunkers. Gosh, Protoss has so much, but it doesn't seem to matter. There's just enough infantry, and I think we are now at the tipping point.
That's going to be that GG. Cure with a very clutch couple EMPs towards the back end of that fight, negating the next couple of storms. It looked like for a second that Zoun was actually going to be able to defend that, considering how many storms he was able to bank up. There were a couple more Templar coming from the left-hand side that were, if they got the storms off, actually going to make a hold. But very good EMPs from Cure to deny that, and was able to snowball it to take a third victory, putting him very, very close to getting into that grand finals.
This is, I mean, it feels like the writing's on the wall. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not that Zoun's bad, but the one when he got, like, those are the greatest storms ever.
He had the perfect opportunity in that game. He was able to clinch it, and then he had that massive flub in the next game afterwards, and it feels like that might... I don't want to read into things, but, like, I feel like when something like that happens, you just, like... Oh my God! You're like kind of like shaking the rest of the series. Like, that shouldn't have happened. That was so stupid. Like, I should have been able to win that game.
When my units get stormed like that, I don't say GG. I leave so fast. Guys, consider joining the Patreon. This is, this is kind of, it's true for many things now. It is that people can now go to the creators and support them directly. So we kind of cut out the middleman here. You know, we had this weird year for StarCraft II where there were like no major events. Nothing was going on. I was like, am I going to be casting this game this year? I had no idea. And so we got together, one night with cameras around us and decided on our own.
We planned this ahead of time. We're like, guys, let's bring some cameras. Let's set up a camera crew. I think we're going to
think out loud.
We're going to come up with something huge right now. We don't know what, but something big's about to happen.
The truth is, we basically decided to do this, and then we filmed the promo for it.
Yeah, we recreated
We were actually, that promo video you saw of us deciding to do this? Well, we were acting. Okay, we already knew we were going to do it.
Believe it or not, I know our acting was top notch, and you really couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a Hollywood star now from that acting. So we decided, why do we have to wait for everybody else to figure this out? We can just run our own tournaments, and we can, let the community come support it, and then we can keep the tournament in whatever size or scope makes sense based off the level of support. And because of the support we've gotten, we are going to have an offline event at the end of the year in December. We don't have the dates announced yet. I'm still looking at a couple esports venues here in Seoul to do that. Anyways, the whole reason why I'm saying all this is we hope that if you're enjoying this, if you're having fun, that you consider signing up to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Revive SC2. We're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue on here with this best of 7 to see who will go on to the finals against Classic.
Go inside. Go inside.
No! Ah!
Oh! Go. Oh, God! Ah! Oh, my God.
Thank you for waiting, everybody. We're back. We're ready to go into our next game here in this best of 7. It looks pretty Cure favored right now. We're going to see if Zoun is going to, change his play style coming back into this. He is doing some moves that I find sort of questionable. I feel like, honestly, PvT it's basic right now for Protoss.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy to understand. Like, okay, in that last game, you can attack. Why would you do that, though? Like, do you need to do that right now? I guess he was behind and he had lost a bunch of stuff, but I think it's almost better to just play defense. Remember, guys, this might be the last TVP that you see before the patch. Before you find new things to complain about.
Don't worry. We got plenty of that covered already.
Yeah, don't worry.
That new storm, everyone's already up in arms.
They're already angry about it.
I am as well.
Yeah. Now it's more like light shower. It's not a storm.
It's a good old psionic gust.
Yeah. Psionic gust. We're going to go to the map Persephone. Cure up 3-1 here. And guys, when we're done, the finals are tomorrow. So be sure to join us at same time, same place if you're watching now. Yeah, let's do it.
Very excited to see if Zoun could put anything back or if Cure is just going to walk away with a 4-1 walking into the grand finals afterwards. Obviously, it would be, I mean, we're looking at the series so far, and we were saying how like the one time Zoun was actually able to make it work was when he got the luckiest perfect storms basically in the higher army. And I don't know, I feel like overall his approach has not been wrong. Like he's been trying to go for it in the correct way each time. It's just like these little small errors here and there that kind of just lead him to eventually losing out the games. And I still feel like the idea of that last game still of going for the attack after losing the third base a few times, it has a chance to work. If he just like maybe didn't get hit with one more EMP or something here or there, then he's able to actually snowball. It's like these fights are very like knife's edge. Like they can really kind of swing one way or the other depending on what the EMP and the storms end up being.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. But nobody has done a proxy. Nobody's done any kind of cheese. It's been, pretty standard stuff so far here. Now, if Cure wins, and by the way, if Zhao's going to win, we have many more games to go, right? But let's just assume that Cure kind of moves through this, because this is not, so far at least, looking as close as Cure versus Reynor, which, by the way, if you missed that, it was insane. Definitely check that on our YouTube or in the old Twitch VOD. But, I think Classic is a league above Zoun in the PvT game.
No,
right
that's absolutely true. I mean, he pioneered this style, essentially. He was the one that was really taking to this and putting it to the next level, trying to go for the storm faster than really anyone. He was doing the 2-base storm openers, which was very fresh, and just he was definitely the master of it. And just he's really good at just taking these games and just making them as long as possible, making it as difficult as possible for the Terrans to really find any leverage throughout the map and whatnot. So Cure will definitely, assuming that he does beat Zoun here, will have a much harder challenge, of course, in that grand finals. But we're not quite there yet. Still potential for Zoun to make the upset happen and to bring this series back. There's always that potential, of course. So going to be going into the Sentry stuff regardless. So trying to get that early scout like normal. Whereas Cure will be just going for the swap over onto the fast tech lab. Going to be for that Cyclone, looking to be still playing basically what he's been used to.
Yeah. Blink Tech is going to be the way to go. I found it really interesting that Cure actually pulled off that super fast push, a stemless push. And I'm kind of waiting to see, does Zoun play differently from that? Like, would he try 4-gate this time with Warp Prism? Or just try to be more conservative in general? Because I feel like with every passing game, Cure's confidence is growing.
Yeah.
Like by the way, he's pulled off a ton of insane plays today. Like he's really blowing me away. I've always felt that like because he's so good, but like Maru is kind of overshadows him as like the other Korean Terran who's so good. But I swear every time I see Cure, he is like a better version of himself, and he's so good.
Yeah, Cure definitely has that curse where he just kind of always underneath Maru and Clem and some of these other Terrans. But he's definitely, I mean, he's always been like this guy that just can go super deep in these tournaments, but just for some reason just kind of loses out at the very end of them, like kind of losing out in like the finals or the semifinals or something. So we'll see if he brings out some X factor, and it looks like this SCV on the bottom right might be bringing just that, as this looks like it's going to be a proxied third CC over on the bottom right.
It's as far away as possible. It's a hidden third CC.
Sure.
It's insane. He's going to go for a hidden third base? I can't. Wow.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And this is such a good map for it too.
Yeah, yeah, because like you're both on the left side. The odds of drifting over there. That's so smart. And I think it's a great build to throw in this mix, because right now, like Zhao knows he can't mess up at all, and it's a pretty. I mean, 1 to 3 on a scoreboard in StarCraft II. That's like a long road ahead. Like it's going to be an hour and a half or more to come back from that. So you're going to be so zoned in on not messing up at all early. People, StarCraft 1 last year had more hidden bases. Like it kind of became more of a thing, and it feels like it's happening now in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Where, I remember thinking about this. I don't remember, maybe it was like 2 years ago. I was like, why don't people hide bases more on some of these maps? Like, it's if you have a bad read and you see them on 2 base and you scout and you don't see a command center, you're like, oh, he's going to 2 base push me.
Yeah.
And then you just take a later, in their eyes, a 3rd base, but it's actually your 4th base. I mean, there's nothing worse than when you check the replay and you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why he had so much stuff. But yeah, I think this is smart. Now, the question is Zoun going to see it? I don't know that he would send something through there.
It's very rare, but also Kira's going to do this into mech as well.
That's genius.
This is wild.
This is so smart.
It's so perfect. Because what build are you going to be, what style are you going to be doing that's going to be sitting you on 2 bases with a later 3rd more likely? It's going to be a mech build.
I want to kiss his brain. It is so smart. It's genius because mech takes longer to kind of start up.
Yeah.
Right? So, with bio, like, you can kind of, I mean, like we even saw in the last game, you can push without stim. It's hard to do, but you can make it work. But instead, he's just going to sit here and power up on mech. And if Protoss doesn't find this in time, because remember, the way that Protoss, because in this matchup, in the way that the game's working right now, in this iteration of the patch, which will be changing soon, because you're kind of pacing yourself to be 1 to 2 bases ahead of the Terran the whole game, this is going to give you a bad read as Protoss. So what's going to happen is you're going to be even on bases when you think you're ahead. And that's not a way you can play. Like, if he saw that this was a 3rd base that he couldn't attack, Protoss would go up to 5 bases right away.
And there's the forward 4th. Well, it looks like a 3rd from Zoun's point of view, but it is the forward 4th. And I love that Kir does this in a way that's like, hey, look at me, I'm taking a 3rd.
He's like, oh, you got my command center. Oh, I'm so mad. Oh, not.
JK.
Not. And then Zoun's like, I will take a 4th base now. See, it's literally happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
He's literally getting completely duped. Kir is bringing a new level of his play in this day specifically. The amount of mind games he did versus Reynor, and now this mind game coming out versus Zoun as well. Like, this is the type of stuff that I don't normally see from Kir. I feel like he's
so good.
He's usually like this very I'm just going to do the most basic stuff that's like very solid and I know it'll work.
Yeah.
Now he's bringing out these nice little mind games. This build is honestly genius. I love the way he's going about this. He even kills that observer really randomly.
Like, oh, not again. You slow down my 3rd command center. He doesn't know. By the way, I think when you do this, you land all your mules at the hidden base, right?
Oh, yeah. Just mine that out.
Yeah, mine that out.
This is
Look at this.
This is
Zoun's
great.
down here.
Look at Zoun's like, I'm going to deny your 3rd base.
Yeah.
You're going to
I
be stuck
can
on
buy
2
a few more
base.
seconds if I stay out here.
Dude, look at Kira's army. It's huge.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Uh-oh. Where's that going? Hold up. Where's that going?
I think he's starting to sniff something out. I think he's really like something feels weird. Oh, he's gonna see it.
Oh, okay. Let's look at Zoun's face when he sees this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's not gonna react. He's gonna micro.
He's microing. We'll try to deny this move out over to what is now actually the 4th base. Does move some of those zealots over to the 3rd. We'll be able to deny that. Now going in for the engagement, but the Hellbats are doing very nicely against the Charge-Outs, but then the Storms coming in on the back end of the fight. But is this really actually what Zoun wants? Because the rest of the units are dying as those Storms are going off. The rest of everything of the mech army stands strong. And sure, this 3rd base on the right-hand side is going to get cleaned up for a little bit, but it's definitely done its work.
Yeah, and this is going to go all the way back home. He's actually going to be able to take out this Warp Prism. It's just Stalkers, which can fight this, sort of.
There's no Observer. He can't see the Banshees. That's actually so much DPS getting thrown down. They do so much damage if they're not actually seen.
And now he's going to come up here. And he's going to hit this, and like there's already 2 Hellbats in the back. I think, is Terran overexposed here?
Yeah, this feels a little bit too much overall, but I mean, we're getting a forward blink even, so maybe it's totally fine.
Messing up his targeting here pretty badly. He's like getting he's like getting 1 Cyclone and 1 health, and he's like, I'm going to switch to this one and get to 1 health. I want them to feel a lot of pain before they die.
Sounds
so,
a masochist.
Cure should not have pushed out this far. This was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And now... I mean, where are we at exactly as far as armies? I mean, Zoun's is smaller, but I feel like what Kir needed to do was chase that a little bit and then regroup. He kind of bled off units. That being said, I mean, you don't go mech that often, right, against this. He's going to send 3 Hellions up to the top right.
Yeah, that'll actually do pretty good. There's a bunch of probes about to go over there. There's no defenses whatsoever. They're all lined up. If he's not paying attention, he could have gotten a massive hit on them. Still will get a lot as the recall is forced because he doesn't want to lose even more probes, but 10 or so are going to get killed off. That is going to equalize that economy even more as Cure was cutting SCVs during that earlier. So we'll be able to bring that back. Still has this bottom right-hand base as well, but a Zealot will be able to deal with that for now. Going to have to get some sort of more defense set up on that right-hand side, but yeah, I think considering the fact that Cure overextended, it still gives Zoun, though, this opportunity with this next push to try and end the game before it gets crazy.
He's going to come down now. There's a lot of Cyclones, but I don't know if that's enough. Okay, but the Hellbats are what are essential here. Unfortunately, 2 are just isolated. The Storms are so good.
Yeah, those Storms are going to be absolutely critical. The blink forward into the Cyclones as well to make sure that they can't chase away. We'll be able to kill some of them off, but they will get to the right-hand side, but SCVs are getting massacred left and right to trying to defend against this. 6 Cyclones is all we really have and on the defense for Cure, and so many of them are just stuck here, getting killed off by the Immortal. They're not targeting that whatsoever, as the rest of the units trying to maintain some form of defense in the natural. This is looking like it's gone a bit awry for Cure.
Yeah, you know, I loved the game from Cure, but I guess the execution, as far as the attack itself, wasn't good enough. I think he's going to lose this game. GG! Zoun keeps the hope alive. Wow.
Yeah, that was definitely an overextension from Cure. That is a bit unfortunate, because I think he really...
Game, remember, what is the name of the movie? What's the movie with Kaiser Sose at the end? Kevin Spacey? No, nothing?
No.
Where they find out that Kevin Spacey's a bad guy. He's like walking with a limp. And then he like starts walking up straight. That was Cure in this game.
Yeah. I can understand. I can get the mental image of what you're going for. I like it.
Probably Twitch chat's probably losing their mind right now. Anyways, the strategy was perfectly pulled off.
Yeah.
The hidden base was up for long enough. Mm-hmm. He had all the resources. He went for mech, which I thought was a good move. He won the fight. And there was like a 50 supply difference.
Yeah.
But then he chased it with an insufficient amount of units.
Yeah.
You can't have a ragtag mech army on that side of the map because basic Protoss units like Stalkers and Zealots will kill them if they're in small numbers.
And also if they're weakened, because all the reinforcements are going to be full full shields and full health from Zoun, whereas all the meching units were still battered and bruised from the actual fight itself. So I actually thought he had more there on the counterattack. I thought he had like a couple tanks as well coming across.
It was weird because Mappa was switching vision.
Yeah,
who has what? So it was like, oh, he doesn't have that much. No, there's more coming up here, but clearly not enough. Mm-hmm. Clearly, because all you have to do is actually win that fight and then basically move that hidden CC into the 4th base position and keep macroing. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to Tokamak. I really put myself on the line trying to read the map.
Tokamak.
Mech?
I think it's Tokamak.
Potato,
tomato.
We're going to go to that game now. See? In the top right is Zoun. Bottom left is Cure. And let's talk, that game was very much a totally different beast of a game from Cure. And by the way, he really exhibited his skill. Even putting his 3rd CC out there and kind of letting him attack into it to kind of generate the imagery of I'm getting further behind, I'm in trouble when he's not.
Yeah, Cure's been really good in every mind game he's done. I said this earlier. He's not just half-assing the mind game either. He's really trying to sell it. He's acting in these games where he's really making it look like this is a real scenario that would be happening if it wasn't for this other thing that I'm actually hiding. So yeah, I'm really impressed by the way that he's going about these mind games. It is really unfortunate that one didn't work out for him because I really thought it was, and I thought it was a really smart approach to that map and to just in general the series being 3-1 up. That's a great time to pull that out.
Yeah.
I'm really curious if he was going to pull that out regardless of what the series was at. If that was a map-specific strategy he was going for, or if he...
I think it was map-specific for sure.
And it's if he was actually losing in this series, would he still go for that strategy on that map anyways? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, Zoun gets his win. Cure playing kind of a brilliant game, but poor fundamentals when it came to the attack. And I would imagine we see Cure kind of go back into what he was doing before, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's going for the double gas yet again, so it will still be something similar at least.
And Cure's in a kind of a unique position here because he knows if he wins, he plays an even stronger Protoss.
Yeah.
So I think one of the reasons why he did that game is he wants to, like, at least keep some more tricks up his sleeve.
True.
You don't want to burn through all of your greatest PvT play to only then, have to go up against Classic again in 24 hours.
Yeah. But then on the other side, you do still have to actually get there, so you do have to bring some stuff out to be able to actually close the series. And so far, not quite able to do so. He's going to have 2 more tries, basically, to make his way into that grand finals. And it looks like he just wants to play it as super standard as possible this time, to try and use that as his avenue to get to that grand finals.
So, we have the same story, same game that we've seen before here. The tech is coming up here for Protoss. We've got the Reapers and the Hellions coming out now. And it's going to be that Twilight Council. It's going to be that Blink. This seems to be, very universal as far as how people approach the matchup now. The 2 Reapers are going to come inside of the base. They're going to go for this Sentry, but he can pull that back in time.
Yeah, nice micro. Never want to lose that, of course, as the Protoss player. That's one of your most useful units in this early game. Lots of gas invested into it as well, because if you do go for this style, you still are delaying your blink a little bit. You can't get it quite as fast as you would in the previous iterations and just with different builds and whatnot. So you do want to keep that alive, obviously. If you lose it, it's kind of just goes against the entire point. But the triple Reaper will be going into the main base. The Hellions are going to try to go into the Nat at the same time. We'll see if this is able to do anything. Just a Stalker will be able prepared. And then the Sentry actually gets pulled, so that should have been there to be able to force field the rest of the wall. Now we'll just force field right in the middle of the mineral line, though, to deny everything. So that's excellent. And a second one to deny and keep them in.
The Sentry's out for blood.
That's
excellent.
It
wants its revenge. You took my shields away earlier.
I'll take your life.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's just a beautiful defense coming out of Zoun. He's going to kill absolutely everything off. The Sentry force fields are perfect. The Double Reaper actually somehow finding their way out.
Does one live to tell the tale?
Whoa.
Yes, he does.
Oh
my gosh. Okay, so that Reaper gets out. He canceled the pylon that was fully blocking that. So we're going to Robo into 4 gate versus a pretty aggro Terran, by the way. Kira's going to come in here and try to do even more damage. Now remember, anything Kira loses here is going to make him that much more wide open if a counterattack comes across the map, which Zoun is going to be capable of.
Yeah, we're actually going to boost the medevac past the 3 Stalkers to try and get deep into the mineral line. I wouldn't even be surprised if he doesn't drop and just goes to the corner, honestly, but he will try to get at least the 2 probe and a little bit of lost mining time. Just goes out with one of them, keeps them alive. I do like that. He wants to still keep something in the corner to just threaten the potential that he might come back in again later. So that's always something to keep in mind as Zoun. But looks like Zoun will just be going into the Templar anyways, going for the double gas and that fast archives before his 3rd base, so wants to keep it as safe as possible. Going back towards that other game that he played on Maganatha where he was able to get the crazy storms in the middle of the map. So we'll be going for the only other build that really did find him victory in this series.
So, from here, we're going to see the build-up continue. Stim is coming. I thought we were going to have a little bit more aggression there, but I guess he decides to just kind of play it safe. Hallucinated Phoenix is going to come through here and see exactly where this game is. And there has not been a 3rd CC started, by the way, but I don't think he had one last time. I'm not talking about the previous game, but when he had a game that resembled this one, I think still Terran hadn't had a CC up yet for that.
Yeah, generally you do get them a little bit late. That's kind of just how it works. It's interesting, too, because I feel like, yeah, okay, there it does go down. But it is kind of interesting, too, because I feel like a lot of times as Terran players, you did see sometimes they go for this, like, 5 racks, 2 base all-in style initially versus this kind of stuff. Oh, my God, he's going to feed back in. Oh, it's just barely not enough HP, or not enough energy to be able to kill off all the HP. That's so funny looking. But nowadays, I feel like you don't see the 5-rack stuff as much anymore because even the defensive Storm is able to actually defend against it, which is kind of wild because usually that's like the most aggressive kind of style you see from a Terran player, just throwing medevacs left and right with so much bio. But we saw Classic be able to defend that last season very easily, so Terran's not even going for that anymore, so just going into this 3rd base anyways.
Yeah, I get it. Looks like the auto turrets are going to end up winning that fight and actually protecting the Ravens, so we can come in here and do that again. So Stim's Stim's all done. That late third CC is going to be landed out here. And it's been a quiet game, other than those, a couple little skirmishes. It's been a very, very quiet game. And I think Cure wants to kind of go back to the basics, right? Try to get some harass in here. Try to spring a couple attacks if he can. But basically just play it safe, because every time he's pushed, he's won, as long as he didn't have, the worst exchanges with Storm possible. And this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I mean, anything you can get, scans, kills the Observer, just win little victories on the map.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Cure, catching those units off guard. Wasn't expecting those things to be getting dropped off on the right as Zoun. So now we'll lose just a few of those Stalkers. It's really awkward to lose those types of units earlier on, because then you can't really remake them, because you want to be using that gas for the Templar and whatnot. So a nice little pick-off. Again, not going to mean the world here in this game, but little tiny things here and there as Zoun you have to take it into account. But he's going to be going into that fourth base anyways, just going to be gearing up to position on the map, so whenever Cure wants to walk across, he can try to get those 6 storms again, as it looks like that's what he's going to be going for. We'll see if he can get them. Cure really needs to make sure he doesn't walk into this Templar.
Yeah, he's got to be careful now. He should see the War Prism and know that wasn't for a push. This is to basically pocket the Templars. Oh, and he's going to go ahead and turn around here. I guess he's just gonna try to go up the ramp the long way.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep away from the storms as long as possible, just to get some sort of position that's maybe unexpected. We'll be able to throw one storm down and get away without too much, but second storm also not able to do too much. Blink forward into the bio is a bit
questionable.
Ambitious. Gets a nice feedback on the Raven. We'll be able to deny that. Good split back from Cure on the first storm. Second and third are able to connect a little bit, and now the rest of the Zealots are going to help come streaming on in, and this looks like a nice hold for Zoun.
Yeah, Zoun looking really, really clean here. Is he going to overextend, though? He needs to pick that tank up. Cure saves that tank at the last second. And I got to say, it was a great hold. It seemed like for a little bit Cure was about to win, but the last 2 storms really saved the day. So Zoun stays on that fourth base, continues to grow, and we're seeing Cure actually pick it up. He's going to do a huge drop, it looks like, over here.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Oh.
He's just going to unload over here. I guess he can try to generate the image of a threat on one side of the map and then hit somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. I guess he wants to just threaten this top left-hand side base, trying to kill that off as quickly as he can. Maybe just do a run and gun, just try and snipe it and get out as quickly as possible. Zoun's going to be trying to go into the Colossus tech after this as well, transitioning out to round out that composition. And here comes the Stim in, trying to do whatever they can. Goes to the pylon first and just gets hit with a massive storm, just eats it right in the face and just has to run on back. So not the best play from Cure there. Wanted more, of course, but might actually even lose everything as Zoun is tracking him. We'll try to find this. Nice pickup, though. We'll be able to keep these alive.
Okay, he picks up, he pulls out. What? Okay,
that was so good. That was so calculated. I love that.
Yeah, that was great distribution of damage there. Hey, man, Zoun's doing it. Maybe we do actually get a Game 7.
Wow. I didn't expect it, honestly.
No, same. I was pretty confident that the way Cure was playing, no one was going to be able to stop him, but it seems like, and this is the sign of a great player, by the way, is that Zoun basically made the right adjustments in his play. Mm-hmm. It's why, so like this is the loser bracket final. We make it a best of 7, Okay. So I do think we are getting to the point where Protoss can't die. Right? Thermal Lance is coming along here. Feels like Classic tends to get a little bit faster than this, but, and after the Colossus, then it's the Disruptors.
Yeah, once this starts to get rounded out, it does get much more difficult from the Terran's perspective, but he's still going into the Viking count as well, realizing that transition timing, so should have a well-rounded out composition himself. The upgrades are still coming in nicely as well, although it looks like they are slightly behind Zoun, so Zoun actually will still have an upgrade lead coming into these mid-game fights, which is actually quite big. You don't normally see a Protoss actually ahead in the upgrades. Generally, the Terran does find themselves with the 2-2, and just like the double E-base setup coming in a little bit quicker at times, so will actually be ahead in the upgrades in that regard, so that's quite nice. We'll try to get an extra base here for Cure, but Zoun is right on top of it. Gonna try to deny this as much as possible. Has a Colossus in here as well. So Cure needs to make sure that he's actually seeing this army come in. Doesn't want to get jumped on by the Templar yet again. Needs to position properly.
Now, if Zoun doesn't execute this attack well, it's going to be bad. So he really needs to make sure he gets in cleanly. Right now, he's bled off a couple of units back there. And it looks like he's decided this isn't really a desirable location to try to pick a fight. There's going to be a big warping in the main. Now, he's left enough supply open that he can have a huge explosion of Zealots with that. EMP on the Stalkers, not too important. And this is where Zoun might actually try to activate.
Yeah, this is a great move coming in from Zoun. Massive warp in the main base while moving in towards the third with his main army, forcing Cure to react in 2 positions at once. And you can see he's not even really able to do anything. He's kind of scrambling in the main as the third base army is just kind of sitting here waiting and just kind of eats some storms, loses 31 SCVs in the process. His army is massive right now, but he can't take a good engagement without losing all of his SCVs.
Yeah. Cure is going to have to take this command center back. He can't control that position. He's back onto 3 bases, and this is what a lot of endgame PvT looks like when the Terran's starting to fall apart. Is Protoss has so much of the map, and Terran's kind of turtled up, unable to really do anything. Nice, even snipes that medevac. Beautifully done.
Yeah, this is looking really tough for Cure. Although, like I said, the SCVs are dying, but he actually didn't really lose much of his army. So if he can actually max out here with just a gigantic army, he might be able to have like a really strong just death push across the map and just find a way to end it with that. The SCVs kind of were used, I mean, he was able to remake a few of them, basically. He didn't really try to go super hard into it. He's now starting to redo that just now, of course. Doesn't want to just be stuck on 38 SCVs, because that's pretty low. But he might just kind of sit on maybe like 40 to like 45 or so and just really try to make a giant maxed out army from that and see where that can take him.
Okay, so, I mean, my God, Zoun is so big on the map right now. He's taking the very bottom right as well as the, what would I say, like this 11 o'clock position here on the mini-map. And he's just trying to get any EMPs he can. I mean, when you EMP that, that's a big reset. It takes a long time for the shields to regenerate, compared to how soon, Protoss would ideally want to push in. It's always funny when they both attack the rocks, right? It's like, well, one of you guys is wrong, right?
Yeah.
You don't both want that open. Okay, he's going to go for it.
Let's see what these Templar are able to do from the Prism. We'll be able to get some nice storms on the right-hand side. The Colossi, also high in number, being able to kill off tons of the bio before the Vikings are able to deal with them. There's so many Vikings in the sky, so that means the Colossi will get killed off. But they were able to do quite a lot of damage, but not enough to deny the rest of the bio from actually ransacking the ground units from Zoun, resetting that army. All of the tech gone. That was 4 Colossi killed off very quickly. All of the Templar are gone. There's going to be one with some storms here in the front, able to defend. It's going to be all on these storms because the rest of the army is basically just a bunch of gateway units.
Yeah. And gateway units are not, when you get a ball this big, okay, that was a crazy storm. It's all about the storms here. The control's been pretty good. I think that's an overwhelming amount. He's going to pick up and save what he can. And that's going to be a GG.
That was very nicely done from Zoun.
What is going on? He actually did it.
Yeah, man. Brought it all back.
He's the guy. Everyone wants to be the guy.
He's doing it. He's doing the thing.
I want to be the guy too, but
Yeah.
he's the guy.
Oh.
That's crazy, man.
Okay, we get a game 7.
That's crazy that we have 2 back-to-back just comebacks. The
I
Cure
know.
being able to bring it back versus Reynor.
This
and
is
now
all
Zoun.
scripted. It's like WWE.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
like, now,
Didn't you guys
Yeah.
know? We have the script under the table. We had to
right
make
when
sure.
we think Zoun's knocked out, he wakes up and gets a stop sign and just hits Cure with it. Crazy, man. We go to a break, right? But first we promote something. What's it going to be? It's going to be the Patreon again.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Patreon. We'd love if you guys could join us on the RSL Army.
Join the RSL Army. Feed me. I am the Patreon. My hunger knows no bounds. If we get enough Patreon supporters, every game will be going to Game 5 or Game 7.
There will be no easy 3-0s or 4-0s.
There will be no 4-0s.
Only you can decide how long our tournament lasts.
Every game will be almost a draw until one guy wins. Yes, the Patreon. We've got different tiers depending on what support you can give. If you can't give in the form of money, you can give in the form of following the Patreon account. You join it or whatever. I don't know. What is it? You follow somebody on X, but if you subscribe on Twitch, it's not the same thing as subscribing on YouTube.
It's different subscribes.
Different stuff.
Oh, no. It's very confusing.
So I don't know what it is, but there's a way to join it.
Yeah. You should do that, though. It'd be really cool. We would love it.
Yes, please do that. We're going to take a tiny little break. When we come back, we will find out who's going to be in the finals here of Season 2 of the RSL.
What is this? Oh my God, he's hiding and waiting in there. He waits in the room. Oh my God.
This is it. The final game is about to happen here. Either Cure or Zoun is going to go on to the finals. I don't know about you guys. We thought it was going to be Cure. I thought it was pretty obvious, just the way the games were panning out. But Zoun has actually fought back really well. And it does almost feel like Cure's kind of out of tricks.
Yeah.
He's kind of been downloaded by Zoun, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I feel like Zoun has just also kind of dusted up his play a little bit. Like the first couple of games, other than the one Crazy Storm game, he was just like little things weren't going his way. He just wasn't really in the zone yet. But now he's kind of collected himself overall in some of these games. He just looked much more solid. He just seems like he's back in his normal form, I would say. So yeah. I think he's doing much better overall in some of these last couple games. So it's really up to, I don't know, like I don't really know who's going to win at this point. It's really up in the air.
Yeah,
both players could definitely come across with this victory. And we're going to be going into the final map, which is going to be Botanical coming in as our game number 7 to decide who is going to be going in to the RSL Season 2 Grand Finals.
Guys, this is our last game of the night. The finals is going to be on tomorrow. So set aside your night or your morning.
Don't do anything else.
Or your lunch. Whatever time it is.
Or your snack time.
Or your snack time. You eat a lot.
Or your dessert.
Okay?
Stop shoving food in your mouth and watch our tournament.
Yes. It's going to be on where it's going to be live tomorrow at 7 p.m. KST. Google or ask an AI what time that is for you. But we are in KST over here. And it's going to be one of these two. I'm kind of hoping for a TVP, but I do love PvP.
I actually love PvP.
Yeah, it's a great matchup.
I do enjoy watching it. As much as everyone says it's terrible, I enjoy the mind games. I enjoy the fiestas.
I appreciate a good mirror matchup.
Yeah.
I think that, there's something when you're learning StarCraft and you're in kind of an ace with, two asymmetric races, right? That's interesting because they can do this, but, you have all these other things you can do. But when you have two of the same, it's interesting to see, okay, how do I get ahead when we have the exact same tools and basically start from the same point in the game?
Yeah. It can also be just very explosive sometimes, of course. You get the crazy proxy games. You just get the players just both proxying each other, which is also great fun. So, I don't know. I think mirrors are just... It's part of the game, and it's fun. Like, I always kind of get kind of wild out when, like, there's so many players on the ladder that just, like, insta-leave mirrors because they just don't want to play a mirror matchup.
No, I love
effectively smurfing like because of that. Because
because there's just some weird MMR. No, I like a good mirror matchup. So we'll see if there are any surprises as far as early game build orders. But honestly, for this best of 7, they've been really, really predictable. I guess minus the one hidden command center. Yeah. But other than that, everything's been very build order formulaic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like. I guess formulaic does have a negative connotation, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like it's been very textbook is maybe the right way to put it. So, what exactly is Cure going to do? Fundamentally, the matchup generally revolves around, can the Terran kill the Protoss before the Protoss is too big?
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen Zoun win with some big attacks here, but, generally speaking, he's doing that when he's so big he can't fail. And, if you don't do that, then Protoss is on, how many bases was that in the last game? Like 7 or 8 bases?
A lot.
Yeah, he has 8 bases. There's no way to kill him. Now, Cure's had great pushes, unless they get stormed to death. But, if he can figure out a way, and that might be to try to drop somewhere and pull some of the army away and then hit somewhere else. But the big issue is that Storm is so strong and Terran have a hard time engaging without just eating a ton of damage. And then basically everything is so softened up, it's so squishy that, everything else Protoss has can clean it up.
Yeah, it's been rough overall, but, Kira is going to do what he can to try and bring it back in this final game because, of course, everything hinges on this final last game 7. Will be out if he loses. We'll be going for the normal Cyclone Marine Medevac opener, it looks like. So pretty much what he's been doing the rest of the other couple games. Going to be going up with the tank afterwards as well. I wonder if this time he's going to go for that early tank push again. He did do something similar, of course, in that one Ley Lines game, which was very good for him. So he might try to go for something similar this time. He's being very aggressive with so many Marines this time as well. So this really lends towards that fact, I feel like. And the fact that he was also really trying to deny that hallucination scout makes me think that he will try to go for something like that. We'll see what actually happens here with this starport. If he goes for a Banshee again, that is what he did that last time. So if he does try to go for something similar there, that could be a key in.
Now, there's not a target yet. Like, in the last game, there was a third Nexus. I don't see a third Nexus right now.
True.
So it's like, where's he going to hit? And I guess the idea is, well, maybe I'll just come out with a medevac then and drop. Okay, so he sees the tank out here. That's a tell.
Yeah.
You're no longer confused about what's happening. So I think Terran has to... is he going to keep going? I feel like this is very not safe.
I think he just needs to try and go ahead and see what's on the other side, because he actually doesn't know yet. He doesn't actually realize what's there. He doesn't know if there's a third base or not. Zoun has fully realized what's happening, though, and is just going to be sitting back on 2 bases. Going for the Immortal on the defense as well. He's been supply blocked just a little bit, so getting a couple extra panic pylons.
He's pulling back. You want to force siege mode as many times as possible. You basically need to sandbag the progress as much as you can. Now, these are no stims, by the way. No stim on these Marines, which is very hard to pull off. Oh my God, he didn't kill the Observer. That's so annoying.
That's brutal. This position, though, is really nice for the Terran if they're able to get sieged up. It's very difficult to walk down into this as a Protoss player. We've got a couple Stalkers on the map, though, to try and pick off reinforcements. That's exactly what Zoun needs to do in this engagement, trying to deny and also try to get any sort of flank, as we have the double tank moving up, actually, trying to get sieged up, but they will allow him to get into that position, as bunkers also will start to get thrown down. A couple of the batteries were killed off, but so are the reinforcements from Cure. This is looking like it's going to be pretty awkward to defend, as the Nexus is even getting very low.
Yeah, he's got an Immortal out here. He's got to attack right now. The Stalkers hit from behind. The tanks, they're getting a decent amount of shots in.
And the repair.
Oh, the repair is insane, but I think he's actually going to kill this off. Yeah, without the tanks, you can't really do anything. He goes for Cloak.
Oh, I like the Cloak as well to keep that Banshee alive. Is very clutch. Lots of units getting killed off here. At first, it looked like with that Immortal dying so quickly in the front lines, it looked like actually Cure was going to have enough to be able to break through, but doesn't actually manage to do so. The repair on the back, also keeping that tank alive for so long, was super critical. But for now, it looks like Zoun is going to be in a pretty nice position to defend, but still low on the army count. And of course, without a third base, isn't able to actually flourish ahead with his economy just yet. Cure is actually going to be able to try and make this into a macro game, I think. He wasn't completely all in with the attack. He didn't bring all of his SCVs, just a few. So he still is in a position that he might be able to go for a round 2 and still break through.
Yeah, Cure's definitely in a bad spot, but you're right. Like, Zoun, did get a very, very late third base, right? He doesn't have that momentum, that growth on his side. Storm's just now starting. I guess that's what you have to do in order to make sure you can stomp out a push like that. I actually was on the same page as you. I thought he was going to win the game in that moment. But, really catching, intercepting the reinforcements is key.
Yeah. Yeah, if those extra units actually came in, that would have been really, really good. Double Banshee coming on in, though. No Observer really in position to deal with this. Unfortunately, targeting a couple of those probes. Could have killed a couple more, but will still get away with quite a few and forcing the pull on the third base as well. This is excellent for Cure. Really wasn't expecting this, I don't think Zoun was. A couple more Banshees being made. It's kind of unorthodox to make more Banshees after the initial push is held, as there's also a third one still in the into the left-hand side as well, unless that got picked off. I believe it is still there. So now this third base not actually even able to mine. This is getting better and better for Cure as we go on.
Yeah, this is a nice little play here. Just kind of keeping the workers unable to mine. Another Banshee's going to come in here. Now there's a battery. Oh, never mind. He's going to go for the battery. I was going to say there's a battery here. You can't actually kill these workers with just one. This is so funny. It's like, yeah, there's actually just enough here that you can actually fight the Stalkers.
Yeah,
Two Banshees don't have to respect the Stalkers at all.
They deal so much damage. Oh, unfortunately, if only he was shift-clicking over in the main base, that would have killed so many more probes.
Yeah.
But
well,
still,
5 is actually a lot.
Yeah, that's still great. He's up 68 to 51.
He says it's go time. Let's move out. Stim, Combat Shield's both going to finish before this push hits. And, Zoun, he was kind of tripped up from that initial push that he actually held, to his credit. And, right now, we just have a way bigger army here for Kier. Now, does Kier know how ahead he is? I know he knows he's leading this game because of, the obvious worker kills, but, does he know he could probably push out and close the game out? That's the question.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually even wants to yet. I think he's still rounding everything out to make sure he's got just a completely overpowering force to go across. He doesn't want to pull the trigger too soon, because I think he knows that if he tries to go and he's actually just kind of completely misread something, then he just gets obliterated by storms and something like that. So I feel like he's just really solidifying this third base situation, and then he's going to go across once he hits about 170 supply or so.
Oh God. Nothing to see that over there. The Observer is just a little bit too late. So
Buff the Observer, come on. That thing's too slow.
So I think this is a really good time to move out because he sees that army's back there, trying to get that. The Stalkers are back there trying to catch that Banshee. He's going to move out. Now this could be that moment. Oh, he's going to dive.
Oh my God, that's terrible for Zoun. That was honestly so much right there to be able to get that. There's no more Templar in that prison. We're going to have to rely purely on Templar on the ground. EMPs are going to be much more volatile now. There's only 5 Templar here. If just a couple of these EMPs can go off, it's going to be massive for Cure. His army is looking insane right now. Okay,
he's going to come through. And right now, Zoun has to survive this. There is such an insanely sized army here. This is 137 supply. Protoss to 189, and look at this, he's only going to have a fraction of the army come forward, so even if it gets stormed, there's going to be more in the back. He's basically keeping his distance. The Nexus goes down, and I don't think it's going to stop from here.
Yeah, a lot of EMPs were thrown off onto those Templar. Almost no storms were able to get off from Zoun, and you can realize the panic now. He's trying to just send something across the map, realizing that he needs to make havoc somewhere else. The defense so far has not been sufficient. He needs to go across, and he said, I need to base race a Terran player, which is honestly never a situation you want to be in as a Protoss.
No, Terran's probably the best race in base racing. You can lift off your buildings. Yeah, so he's going to pick up, and notice where the SCVs are going. They're not going into the main. They're going to go meet with the rest of the army. Meanwhile, you can see Cure is just chewing through the position headed towards the heart of the Protoss' base in the main.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that Cure was already on his side of the map, he's going to be able to get much further in this than Zoun is able to, because Zoun also probably won't be able to get into the main because there's going to be a bunch of units sitting up here. Actually, he's supply blocked, so he's not able to get too much more. There should be Liberators coming up soon as well.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, he's lost so many pylons that he's literally, even at 100...
Yeah, both of these players can't make anything. They're stuck now with what they've got.
So remember that there's a lot of storm, so that can fuzzy the math a little bit in a fight. That can you can absolutely get a couple of crazy storms off, and suddenly this is a lot weaker. Huge amount of denies over there. Sorry, how many probes are hidden?
Oh! That was such a nice attempt, but unfortunately not able to get too many with that storm. There's actually a couple probes on the bottom left, and it looks like the rest of them are kind of in the main, actually. He's actually still got quite a lot. Both of them still have 40 SCVs or so, which is actually not bad in a base race situation. So if you can get them base mining, it's still going to be pretty okay for you. Cure is now actually just kind of stuck in this left-hand side of the map and is slowly retaking his natural. This is a really funky looking base trade game here where they're kind of now resetting into their own bases, actually. Despite the fact there's an X on the bottom left, other than that. And the top right now. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, like...
Nice.
It's kind of weird. It's like Cure almost froze for a little bit here. I mean, Zoun, if he gets 2 bases in 2 opposite parts of the map, that's really good. He has 3 Nexuses making right now. He needs to... Right now, Cure needs to send 1 SCV to each corner of the map here and scout.
Yeah.
He's playing as if Zoun can't have a base, and obviously we know that he has more than 1.
Yeah.
But this is becoming positionally more and more complex.
Yeah, the problem here for Cure as well is that so many of these high ground positions on this map lend it very nice to just leave storms on top. It's very difficult to actually walk up. But since we're only on 2 command centers, we are running out of scan energy very quickly. And so we can't actually get the high ground vision or the forward vision needed to know where this army from Zoun is. And so Zoun is doing a really good job of just lurking around. Despite having a much smaller army, he's puffing out his chest and making it look like it's much more threatening than it actually is. So Cure can't really take a favorable move out just yet. He's just going to realize he needs to sit back and just know that he's got the larger army and in his mind, the better economy.
Yeah. When you have all these command centers lifted off like this and you're in economic dire straits, scans are a lot less available, right? You can actually see the income is picking up right now for Zoun. So both these guys are in shambles compared to what they had before. They both kept the majority of their infrastructure, though. So it's not like the game goes back to the Stone Age, like a lot of other base race games do go to.
Yeah.
Like a Zerg loses a hive, for instance, and all their tech. They got to start all the way from the beginning. But he's unaware of both of the corner bases, as well as, the remade third base up here. Now, Cure's army is way bigger.
It's huge.
It's way strong. Like, if they had to fight head-to-head, unless the storms are perfect, Cure wins.
Yeah, Zoun is going to have to try to negate that as best he can. He's going to try to collapse on this army while it's kind of repositioning and just completely unaware of the situation. But the high ground vision from the Vikings will allow this to be still pretty decent for Cure. Blink forward to try and deny some of those medevacs. But this army from Zoun just looks so tiny compared to what Cure has amassed at this point. He's got basically 150 army supply of pure Terran army bounding for Zoun's side of the map. Can he actually slow this down enough to find this Game 7 win?
Okay, so the push is going to continue. But again, he doesn't know where he needs to go. I mean, there's these 2, it's crazy, in the exact opposite location bases that have to be killed off. Okay, and again, another perfect storm.
The EMPs are going to be so clutch. Nice one on the top side there. Cure has to be paying so close attention. There's going to be Templar coming from every which way.
Yeah.
Nice EMP on the forward there. Able to deny those storms. There's barely any left at this point. 1 storm able to go, but dodged expertly by Cure. 1 more Templar is coming from the right side, I believe, as Zealots going into the only mining base for Cure, basically. As the army, though, continues to be absolutely ridiculous in size. Zoun can't take this engagement without key storms.
Okay, so he takes it out, but does he think it's over? There's 2 more bases. There's more income for Protoss right now. This is crazy. He's gonna, well, he gets that one. He gets the EMP on that one. But now, and remember, the counterattack, there's way more to lose for Terran here.
It's deja vu.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
It's the exact same thing happening. Same positions. We're walking across the base again, or across the map again, as Zoun, once again, resetting the SCV count. I mean, he's got those corner bases, like you said, but unless he can still get an army size that's actually threatening, he's not really going to be able to win the game, I feel like. Although, the medevacs are starting to get really low on energy as well. This bio army, it's going to start to be just in the red and the orange very quickly here.
This is insane. This is okay. He sees it. He sees that. Did he scan the other one or just the bottom left?
He saw the top right
Okay.
with an SCV, and he does get the scan on the bottom left.
I didn't realize he had an SCV up there. Okay, so.
Oh, I love the EMP to deny the recall as well, so he knows that he's going to be able to kill
Oh my God,
this.
that's so smart. So he gets the deny up here. Terran is literally not mining. He's at 278 minerals, and it's not moving. He kills that. Army supplies, again, still, Terran is gargantuan.
I gotta say, Zoun is pulling this off, man. Like, he's doing such a good job of moving around the map, using it to his advantage. I thought he was dead 3 times over in this game, but the fact that he's actually managed to somehow still get a larger army compared to what he had before and not actually die, that CC is not going to survive if he doesn't get that mule on it.
Yeah, he got it on it.
Thank God, gets it on the last split second. So any any scan at this point is so critical from Cure because he needs to know where these Templar are coming from. Again, these bio units are going to be so low. If the storms could be insane, it could still work out for Zoun, but the EMPs over top the entire Protoss army are ridiculous. A singular storm, more coming from the top side, but that's not going to be enough. We're trying to get warp ins here, but the rest of the units continue to bleed out. There's no medevac energy to heal any of this.
Is he going to do it? Oh, this is insane to me. This looked unwinnable for Zoun.
There's still more units
Oh my
on
God,
the right-hand
there's
side,
even
though.
more. Okay, that's crazy.
His
so
army
actually,
is
hold
still
on.
large.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
He's still got more coming from the right. There's no more storms. There's nothing more, just a couple of gateway units, a couple of Archons. He's trying to make more gases at this point at 19 minutes in the game with barely any bases. This is still up in the air for both players, but it's still looking okay for Cure, considering he's still got more of his EMPs with the Ghost, whereas Zoun is actually, I think he's got 0 Templar on the map.
Yeah. Yeah, like, without Templar, I mean, I don't think he can win the fight. Like, we see Zealots, and Zealots and Stalkers are not going to cut it.
Zealots could still be pretty good once these bio units get really low, though, because again, the medevac energy is really actually critical at this point.
That's true, actually.
If the units get
so
too low.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I think Zoun might be able to do it. The angling here is really good. There's not a lot of surface area to kite here.
Oh, he's actually attacking the gases as well.
The probes are
being forced to go into the front line as well. Cure backed into a corner, barely gets away with any units. Literally every single unit counts at this point. Getting away with anything is huge, and that medevac is on a one hit's worth of health.
Cure is flying in that medevac right now. It's just...
No, don't leave it.
No,
Move.
No.
Cure. Oh my God, that's actually huge. That's so much of his army.
Okay,
Hey, did Zoun do it?
I think he did it.
Oh my
He's
God.
at 26 supply with 5 workers. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm glad you can count after all this
Watch
time.
this.
Tasteless.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can do it backwards. I can do it any way you want. I mean, Zoun, the game really is okay, that's it. GG.
No way.
What?
Oh my God.
What?
What an insane game.
What?
The fact that was game 7-2, oh my God. How did he make that work, dude? He was
That
dead.
was insane.
He was dead as any... I can't even think of a way to describe how dead he was. Like, he had 150 supply versus like 90.
He was dead. I mean, it was, the position was complex, but it was weird. It was like Cure was behaving as if Zoun could not keep expanding or something.
Yeah.
Like, in that moment as Protoss, you literally just send stuff in every direction and start throwing buildings down. It's like an insurance plan. Like, you're hoping one of them, as long as one of them is not caught, you're in the game. And then 2 were not caught in opposite locations. And then Cure came out and just tried to attack what he thought was the last base, the base that was like, I think it was the 3rd base position. Tried to hit that. I mean, that's insane. So we got a PvP finals.
That's true.
It's going to be Zoun versus Classic. Classic, of course, the RSL champion of Season 1. By the way, Season 3, just around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. But before that, it will be a grand finals of PvP. Classic was able to take down Zoun earlier in the winners final, so we'll see if Zoun can bring something back here in the grand finals. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting, of course. It could be a long series. Could be a best of 7 reset with our best of 3 coming afterwards as well. So,
yeah.
Hopefully it will be very interesting.
So we're going to update you guys on that. We decided when we finished Season 1, we were like, oh, okay, well, this wasn't really fair because one guy comes from the loser's bracket. The guy from the winner's bracket should have an advantage. So our finals will be a best of 7, and if Zoun wins that, there's a reset into a best of 3.
Yes.
And that's going to be tomorrow, guys, 7 p.m. KST. Here's the schedule. But all you need to know is that it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Less than 24 hours.
Yes. That's not that much time.
That's not enough time. Oh, it's enough time. So set your time aside. This is season 2 of the RSL. We just started this year, by the way, guys. It's been a dream come true. It's been amazing. I think we've improved a lot this season from the last season 2. We have season 3 after this one, and then at the end of the year is going to be the offline finals. That'll be live in Seoul. We don't have the dates exactly. We are still finalizing the venue. 15 million Korean won. Tickets will be on sale for that. We'll be there. Players will be there. You can be there and watch the games live.
It'll be super sick. Can't wait. Of course, more details coming next month about that, so keep your calendars open so that way you can find your way over. And we would also love to give a shout out to Archon Studio, who's helping us here in the RSL as our official partner. I'm so excited to get this thing.
Yeah, the tabletop miniatures game is looking sick. It's going to be on pre-sale at around the end of the year. But we really appreciate their support. They've got a lot of great products. I recommend you check them out. We really are. We're super honored to have anybody partner with us before season 1 even started. And they stuck with us. They're happy with it. And we're happy to have them. So thank you so much, Archon Studio. If you've been enjoying this, consider signing up for the Patreon, patreon.com/Revive SC2. We want to carry the torch forward here for StarCraft II. We love this game. How can you not love this game after a game like that?
Yeah, man.
That's why we play RTS games.
That was peak StarCraft right there.
It was amazing. And the day, or actually I guess yesterday, we had one of the greatest games of all time.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, it was insane. The season's been incredible. Please consider signing up. We hope to earn your support. We love this game. We want to keep it going no matter what. And, no, you do it.
Merch. We got merch.
We got merch.
So much merch. You can cover your body with merch as much as you want.
You can cover your body with merch.
Yes. Put a shirt on, put a sweatshirt on, wear some pins, throw them out,
you
put them on your fridge.
And maybe your girlfriend wears your big hoodie around the house sometimes.
Nice.
Oh, my God. All of chat's getting turned on right now. Imagine that, how good your life is. You're watching RSL.
Wait, Twitch chatters have girlfriends? What?
That's right. Only Patreon supporters do.
True. Good point.
But your babe girlfriends walk around with their RSL hoodie. You're going, what's going on? Is this my life? Is this the life I live? 20% off if you are a Patreon supporter. Please subscribe on our YouTube. I know a lot of. I guess the Twitch stream died once in the. It just hiccuped. I don't know. Well, anyways, so some of you guys moved over to YouTube. By the way, guys, if a Twitch stream ever dies, like our stream didn't die, but Twitch has been having some issues. Just refresh the page, guys.
Yeah, Twitch is just sometimes dumb and just lags a little bit.
Sometimes Twitch just crashes. So
we're not purposely cutting our internet.
That's not us. But it even happens when I'm streaming from my house. Sometimes the stream dies. But anyways, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitch, go to our YouTube and subscribe to the channel. We got to grow this thing and get it to everyone everywhere and take over the world
with RSL.
For season 2, then the world. Oh, we're back on camera.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Tomorrow is the finals. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you there. Bye-bye.